recover the weapon?
Bag it and return it to technical services.
Hurry it up, Floyd. We got places to be.
Happy hunting.
This is a fist hump. Just going through the motions.
You're probably right. Let's just get it over and done.
All right, have it your way. We'll search right up to the back wall. If you still don't come up with anything, come find me and we'll talk it out. Two heads are always better than one.
يا باللعبة دي يصير به دروب فريم.
Dr. Fontaine, could I have a word?
Of course, young man.
I really enjoyed your lecture, Doctor. Psychiatry seems to have a tremendous amount to offer.
Why, thank you. I'm always happy to receive acknowledgement for my work. The mind is the last great mystery in medicine. Are you thinking of specializing, Mr.
Sheldon. Courtney Sheldon. I'm only in second year, Doctor. They fast-tracked me a year because of my experience during the war.
Ah.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. Battle fatigue.
أنا مع القضية لازم أحارب من أجل النهاية.
I would say yes, given the right set of circumstances. Trauma forces the mind to close down, retreat in on itself. We try to find ways to unlock the mind again through a combination of therapy and drug treatment. Hypnosis and therapy are powerful tools in the right hands, Shift.
لا.
I've been to visit some of the guys at the VA hospital. A good friend of mine, he's so far away. It's like he's wandering around.
You went through a lot together.
Yes, Doctor.
Give me his details and I'll make a prognosis. I have a number of clinics in Los Angeles, Courtney Sheldon, and your penance, for your friend's help, is to come and work at one of them in your spare time, with what little spare time a medical student has. Is that a deal?
Is it ever? I can't thank you enough.
I'm not promising a cure, Courtney. I want you to remember that. Every physician has patients that he cannot.
ولكن أورث طيتها عليك.
For whom he can only smooth the path to death.
جماعة كل النيوز بيبر كان باقي بس واحدة.
تمثيل الموت هرب استسلام. تمثيل الموت.
Look at this junk. It's not my job to pick through other people's trash.
نايس. ناخذ كعب طيسي.
حرامات اللي ما بيسكت.
Phelps, Bukowski. B-Cop says he located a green Kaiser Fraser from the hot sheet. Address is 6 West 2nd Street. Get over there, see what you can find out. Go on. Sorry to inconvenience you.
We're on it.
هلا. تفعيل يابا تفعيل.
I swear the more bent cars we bring in, the longer the hot sheet gets.
It pays the rent, though. Keeps Mrs. Phelps in the manner to which she's accustomed.
I'm not sure she'd agree with you.
Passionate, romantic.
لازم.
I don't believe it.
No.
They're calling her the Dahlia now. Wonder what Veronica Lake makes of that one.
What a case. You hear whether they're making any progress?
Captain Donnelly seems to think they have it all wrapped up. Brown and Green are sweating this Manley character. I heard it'll be in front of a grand jury by next week.
Poor thing. Terrible enough being murdered like that without having her death strewn all over the front pages.
هلا يمكن ما ادري يعني اختياراتي تشوكو زين.
أحداث اللعبة بدأت كلها من وراء حسد وغيره.
شنو؟
أحداث نوير بدأت بسبب طمع.
اوف.
أم اللعبة.
That's the car, Cole. Just pulling out of the drive. Get him. Remember, we need him healthy enough to answer questions.
1247, Detective Phelps, requesting immediate backup in pursuit of a stolen green Kaiser Frazer from 6 West 2nd Street.
وشو دا أحس؟ هل وصلت النهاية أم لا؟
Enough games, Phelps. Take this guy out.
دا أحس طبيت بطريق شطولة. يعني سويت شيء شقاقي. ما اريد احكي خاف يسمعك فجأة. احنا نبي ويلي طريقين.
That's the car, Cole. Just pulling out of the drive. Get him. Remember, we need him healthy enough to answer questions.
1247, Detective Phelps, requesting immediate backup in pursuit of a stolen green Kaiser Frazer from...
يا أبي الموقع ما قاعد يقول لي التروفي شنو المقدم بيه متقدم بيه.
6 West 2nd Street.
يوتيوب. يمكن وصلت نهاية سعيدة يا حين. أنا ما أدري اللعبة بس ذاك المرة ولا أدري النهاية يعني شوف اختياراتي تكوزالية. أشوفها بالمرسم ده.
وات شو التهويش؟
خلنا نلعب يلا.
Lay into his wheel arches. Come on.
All right. Maybe I was a couple miles over the speed limit.
Show me your hands!
Get bracelets on him, Phelps.
Why did you run from us?
I saw a big car in my rearview mirror with two tough guys bearing down on me. What would you do?
What's your name?
Cliff Harrison.
You're under arrest.
For what? What are you talking about?
Nice try. I'm talking about the car being stolen.
You're out of your mind. I bought the car, and I've got the paperwork to prove it.
Looks like we'll have some questions for the people at Coombs Automotive. You purchased this car from Coombs Automotive Company?
Yeah, that's right.
And the ownership papers?
From the same place.
If this is a forgery, it's top-notch. This will need to be traced. You have a criminal record, Mr. Harrison?
No, nothing like that.
You better give us something, Cliff, or we're gonna make this hard on you.
I didn't steal the car. I ran because I've got some wacky backy in the glove compartment.
How much, Cliff?
1 reefer.
We'll let it slide. You're in enough trouble. Who did you deal with at Coombs Automotive?
The owner, Richard Coombs.
And he made out the bill of sale personally?
Of course he did. He kept a facsimile for his records. Check with him.
We're going to get to the bottom of this, Harrison. Until we do, you're going downtown.
You gotta be kidding me. I'm getting arrested for buying a goddamn car?
If everything is legit, Harrison, you'll be out soon. Until then, if I were you, I'd keep my mouth shut.
Bag his possessions as evidence and have him arraigned for Grand Theft Auto.
Right, Detective.
Do you know who my father is?
We need to get to Coombs Auto and check out Harrison's story.
You know what? I think he's telling the truth.
Some of the most convincing people you will ever listen to are born liars. Usually they're called...
You drive. I need to go over the case notes. Can you drive to this one?
Not another step. I have got a Buick Century sedan that would be absolutely perfect for you.
Detective Phelps, LAPD, are you the owner?
That's right. Richard Coombs at your service. You looking to trade in a black and white, boys?
Mr. Coombs, we're investigating an auto theft. A man by the name of Cliff Harrison claims he bought the car here.
Well, some people would say that my cars are a steal. That's a joke, sir.
Very amusing, Mr. Coombs.
I remember it was a green two-tone Kaiser Frazer, if I remember right.
Do you have the bill of sale?
It's in my office. Walk this way.
اقول لك رقم غريب يدق عليه.
That's a joke too, son.
Phelps, you mind if I shoot this guy? He's getting on my nerves.
الو؟
ليش اهتم يا اخي؟
هلا علاء وشلونك؟
Here it is. Got the original pink slip there too.
Gene Archer, 146 North Fremont Avenue. Harrison's purchase receipt was legit, at least. We have a couple of questions.
All right, fellas. Shoot.
Can you tell us how you came to buy the car?
Girl just wandered in right off the street.
Nothing unusual about the car.
Not really my usual type of vehicle. The price was certainly right, though. Nice girl, but about as sharp as a bag of wet mice.
Did you pay with check or cash?
A check. She wanted it made out to cash, but I insisted. Man has to watch his cash flow.
What name?
I made it out to Gene Archer on the Bank of Arcadia.
Can you describe this Gene Archer?
Brunette, maybe 25, 26. Little on the plump side, but not bone ugly.
What was your impression of her?
Kind of harried and harassed. In a hurry to go somewhere, but no place to go. You get to know the type.
Do you know anything about the company that prints these pink slips?
Nope. Should I? It isn't exactly my business.
It says Marquee Printing. You've never heard of them?
Marquee. Sure. They do all the government red tape. You'll find the place down on Aliso Street near San Pedro.
When exactly did you hand over the check, Mr. Coombs?
Close of play on Friday.
Why didn't you pay her cash? You knew the car was dirty.
I had an inkling. When people are in a hurry for money, always pay by check, son. Gives you a couple days to back out.
This was all above board.
Yes, of course it was.
Did this look legitimate to you, Coombs?
I'm in used cars, son, not bearer bonds. In my business, you don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Now don't come on all high and mighty with me if you want my help.
Thanks for your help, Mr. Coombs. We need to continue the investigation.
Hope you sort out your problem with Mr. Harrison. Go easy on him, son. Boy's about as sharp as a bowling ball. He's built too low. The fastballs fly over his head.
Let me shoot this guy, please. You have a pleasant day, Mr. Coombs.
Well, Harrison might be off the hook, but we can still run an APB on Gene Archer. Get on the horn and call it in.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
Requesting an APB on Gene Archer, age approximately 25, on suspicion of Grand Theft Auto.
I'll relay the information.
Messages, please.
James Velasco is being held at Central Station on suspicion of GTA. Possible link to the Harrison case. They're waiting on you to conduct the interview.
Thanks.
Hey, what the hell are you doing?
Grenade and a barrel of oatmeal.
Hey, what the hell are you doing? Hey, what the hell are you doing? Hey, what the hell are you doing?
You can drive. I like your thinking, Phelps.
Detectives, Velasco is prepped and ready in 2. Another stolen car with legit papers.
Thanks.
Here's a chicken and egg question for you. Do you think...
You've got it in for everyone today, haven't you?
I've always got it in for car salesmen. Doesn't matter what day it is.
You know the way. You can drive. Can you drive to this one?
Empty. Should have known that Archer broad would have given us a false address.
Maybe the more annoying they are, the quicker you sign.
Crummy bastard.
James Velasco?
I want a lawyer. It's my car and I got the proof right here. Take a look for yourself.
The paper is real enough, Velasco, but the car isn't yours. This pink slip is a forgery.
tore strips off me at the grand jury. Case was thrown out. Now the DA.
Where were you taking the car, James?
Blow it off, greenhorn. You'll get nothing from me.
You're a two-time loser. If you don't give me something, I'm gonna ask the DA for the maximum. You're looking at 10 years, Belasco. Kiss your youth goodbye.
I want a deal.
Keep talking and we'll see what sort of deal you're worth.
My job is to drive the cars out of state. Nevada, Arizona, sometimes New Mexico. With the paperwork they provide, it's normally a breeze.
Does the name Jean Archer mean anything to you?
Nope. Never heard of her.
You're a liar, James.
Say that again. I'm telling the truth. I don't know the broad.
So that's why you both have the same address printed on your pink slips. She's a mule for these stolen vehicles, genius. Same as you.
Jesus. All right, I know her. Stupidest broad I ever met. Always cooking up crazy schemes. I don't know why those guys use her. You happy now?
What happens to the cars once they cross over the state lines?
I don't know. I just deliver them.
Give me something, Velasco, or I'll take you back to the cells and tell the whole station you're a child molester. How long do you think you'll last?
Okay. I hear you. The cars get sold in Chicago or back east. Sometimes I bring back cars coming the other way.
Where do you pick up the cars, Velasco?
Warehouses. Mainly in East downtown.
An address, Velasco. You want my help with the DA? Cough it up, now.
A place on Industrial Street. I don't know the number.
زلزلة موجود.
You're gonna help me out, right?
Keep talking, kid, and we'll see what we can do.
موجود يا
All right,
بس تحكي
James.
ولد.
We're gonna check if this information is worth anything.
And if it is, I need your help here, pal.
If it is, then we'll know you're a man of your word, and so will the DA.
You're Phelps, right?
Yes, I am. Look, can we do this later? I'm in the middle of it.
Ray Pinker. I'm with Technical Services. The pink slips are all real.
Yes, we know that.
There's only one company that prints them in California, the Marquee Printing Company. They've confirmed that the numbers are legitimate.
You've checked them out?
Sure. They're on Aliso Street, near the corner of San Pedro. The guy I spoke to was Lightval. Gordon Lightval. Here, I wrote it down.
Thanks, Ray. This is a great lead. We'll get down there as soon as we can.
يا أخي هاي ايش الماب كبير.
قاعد تلعب الله ناير؟ تعرف انا عرفت انه خريطة باللعبة ورا فترة، يعني تقريبا بالشابتر الرابع هي اصلا لعبة
يابا اوبشن
ادري انا ابد ما فتحت الماب، ابد اصلا ما اعرفك ماب. يعني من شفت العب اللعبة بس افتح الدفتر ادوس اللوكيشن المطلوب.
زين صدق من بيها نهايات مثل شو يسمونه ديترويت، لو كل مرحلة نفس الكونكلوجن.
كل مرحلة نفس الكونكلوجن بس بشرط انه تختار الاجابات الصحيحة. اكو تروفي تجيب 5 نجوم بكل المراحل.
ديم
5 نجوم هي تجمع كل الكلوز وكل شيء كوركت.
تلقى ماجنيفاينج جلاس، يعني معناته اكو سالفة تقدر تستكشفها.
هاي انت مفعلها.
متى القاه؟
شنو؟
انا اصلا متى القى ماجنيفاينج جلاس على مود يقول لك انه هذا اقدر اسوي له.
هاي من تفعل انتويشن بالخريطة تبين. بس انا هسه احكي على شغله موجوده بالاعدادات تفعلها وتبين لك، بس ما تحس هذا الصوت تن تن اعرفك اطلق قريب. يعني دوس اوبشن، روح اوبشنز، روح لل جيم بلاي. هاي كلو هنتس سويها اون، والكلو ميوزك سويها اوتو.
اكو كلو هنتس اون، اكو فيجوال.
الفيجوال تسهل اللعبه كلش، بس هي نفس الاون.
اكو كلو ميوزك اوتو واون. شنو كذا موزيك؟ Music automatically fade down when all clues in a location are discovered.
ايه.
Music will play continuously while investigating a location.
سويها اوتو ما عليه بها.
Action skip. Gunfights, brawls, chases, and tailing sequences can be bypassed after several failed attempts. للمعاقين.
سكيب بس ما تأثر على السكيب.
ايم اسيست هاي كلش هاي.
انا مخليها وسط يمكن ما أعرف. واحدة منين بالوسط.
متعود على جي تي اي كلش. ديسبلاي بلاك اند وايت لا رحم الله والديك.
شو والله خلف على
كاميرا اوتوميشن الشيك تطفيه الاوتوميشن ما اعرف شنو ابقيه.
بلاك اند وايت لا تفعله ابد. هي المفروض تلعب هيك بس لا ما حلو. اوتوميشن يمكن يعني الاوتو ريلود مصطفى.
اوتو ريلود؟
اي
طفيه.
ليش فتحه؟
ما اريد اوتو ريلود.
اوتو ريلود من يخلص الطلق. من يخلص الطلق تظل ثابت.
انا اسوي ريلود.
اوكي. انا من يخلص الطلق هو راسي اسوي ريلود. اللي هو
الاوتوميشن. غير دائرة؟
اي بس تقدر تفعل يعني ما راح يفرق عليك مصطفى.
Gene, you've blown open the whole operation because you were dumb enough to try to sell one of the cars. What do you think they're going to do to you? Give me something.
I was just doing what they do. They paid me $50 to drive the car. I made $2,000 selling it.
You made zero.
إذا عن دعم هنا عادي أو أكو أقدر أكسر قوانين المرور؟
ال5 نجوم تروح من عندك إذا تظل تأثر بالسيارة والمدينة.
شلون؟
اكو نظام اذا ظلت تكسر بالسيارة لو تدعم بشر لو فد شيء حتأثر على الريبورت مالتك بنهاية المرحلة بحيث ال5 نجوم تصير صعبة حتى لو تتجمع كل شيء مال 5 نجوم بس ما تشتغل.
Well, I think you did, didn't you? Well, I'm sure of it. Anyway, I don't know him.
You aren't sharp enough to lie to me, Gene. You and James Belasco share the same address on your pink slips. We have him in a cell.
Okay, so I know the creep. The pink slips are real. The home addresses are always vacant lots. Bigelow is always boasting that the paperwork is legit and that if we stick
ترى
to our
العالم
story...
يحاكي يعني شوية يعني
هاي
مال تحاسبهم اوقات.
هاي مال كلو؟
اي مال كلو بس مو دائما كلو يمكن باكج جار ما منه فايدة.
أدري بس أنا قصدي أهم شيء أكفد الشيء عندك.
Let me go, will you? Please. What have I got to do?
بس هاي والله أحلى مال ديترويت اللي هي حرفيا تشيز اللعبة كلها.
أنت أصلا هاي لازم تلقاهن أو توصل رانك 20 أو مو إلا رانك 20 أكو فت نظام رانكات باللعبة هو أقوى رانك 20. يبين لك الأماكن مال كلوز كلها ويبينها بالخريطة. هاي تفيدني أني لأنه دارد جمع 5 نجوم. معلوم أنا أغلبها مجمع كل الكلوز. لأنه هواي دواء.
Career advice, Gene. Get out of crime. Marry someone boring who has money and will find you captivating.
Is this guy for real?
He takes a little getting used to, but yeah, he generally means what he says.
Gordon live it all. تسلا.
LAPD, police emergency. You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Fine. Where are we headed?
She wants a 5-star goddamn wedding.
Friendly girl.
Used to getting...
And what can I do for you, gentlemen?
I'm a traffic detective from Central Division. Who's in charge here?
I am, Gordon Lightfall. What's this about?
هذا مساعد كله حيضل وياي.
Yes.
كل شابتر مساعد جديد.
ما كل شيء ما يخليني استكشف. يلا عمدي سلم.
Have you had any goods
انت شنو مالتك الملابس؟
we're running up against stolen cars with seemingly...
صدق على طاري انت حكيت على هالموضوع ترى اكو واحد هيك كلش
شلون شنو؟
انت هسه منو وياك؟
بعدني بلابس الشرطة حتى مو بلابس الديتكتيف.
اكو واحد بالهومسايد والله كل شوي يقول لك يابا هذا رجلها هو مسوي المشكلة.
Mr. Lightfall, we're currently working 2 auto theft cases. Do you know anything about a car theft ring?
Certainly not. Why would I get mixed up in a thing like that?
We have suspects with legitimate pink slips that were printed here, Lightfall. You better give me something before I bring the whole department down here.
Don't be hysterical, Detective. As a matter of fact, we had a similar problem a couple of years ago. A number of used car lots were selling blank documents.
بس قاعد تفهم من نظام اللعبة مو؟ عرفته؟
Do the names Cliff Harrison and James Belasco mean anything to you?
No, they do not.
Harrison bought his car from Coombs. The pink slip looks good, and that points the finger here. Do you have any employee trouble?
No, I don't. They've all been carefully screened. Look, now that I think about it, the name Coombs sounds familiar. I think they may have been involved in stolen documents in the past.
Do you have a delivery ledger, Mr. Lightfall? We would like to cross-check against the Coombs Automotive Emporium.
It's a little out of the ordinary, Detective. I'm not sure I can share those sorts of records.
Hand it over, Lightfall. You don't want us having bad thoughts about you, do you?
Very well, but this really is irregular. Over here.
Look for patterns, recurring names, unusual addresses, anything out of the ordinary.
You certainly encourage repeat business, Lightfall. This Mr. Bigelow is a good customer. Sorry to bother you, sir. We'll let you know if there are any developments. LAPD, I need your car, now. You can drive. Call for a couple of black and whites. Get Fleischer down here.
I thought you Marines were gung-ho, Cole. You have a 45, don't you ever want to use it? I'll take the back. Just give me a few seconds to get around there.
Cole Phelps, LAPD. All of you are coming downtown with me.
Think so, huh? Look sharp, it's the cops!
Let's clear the top floor. I don't want to get drilled in the back on the way out.
Find some cover!
Try the door to him. I heard something.
All right, don't shoot!
Keep your hands up. Watch him, Bukowski. He doesn't move until I've tossed this place. There are enough slips here to keep them stealing cars till Christmas. Marquee Printing Company. There's nothing like going direct to the source. Betting slip. Looks like Mr. Lightfall has been on a losing streak. We've got a trail of pink slips and stolen cars that leads right to your door, Bigelow. You're in this up to your neck, but I don't think you're the man in charge. Make it easier on yourself. Give him up.
I do work on cars for customers. You charge in here shooting up the place like it's the Ballad of Bulge. I can't give you anything.
We know about marquee printing. You can make this easier on yourself by giving us your man on the inside.
I sometimes repair cars and put them back on the road. I need a pink slip to resell them. There's no problem there.
There are at least 4 dead men in this warehouse. A couple more. Punks won't make for that much extra paperwork. We'd be doing the legal system a favor.
Okay, tough guy. I get the message. Lightfall, the guy who runs Marquee. He's the big shot. He likes to spend big at the track. He owes people.
Lightball, the guy with no luck at the track. Tell me about him.
It's one of the guys lying over there. You're right. He has no luck.
That's the best lie you can come up with, Bigelow?
Hey, would I lie to you, detective? I'm not exactly in a good position here now, am I?
Gordon Lightball owns Marquee Printing, a government print shop. He's losing big at the track.
He has these big government contracts. He's in hock over 20 grand. If the feds find out, contracts will be all over. Lightball plays ball.
All right, Bigelow. The heat is off you. Play your cards right and you'll be able to count your time in Quentin on one hand. Police emergency, out of the car.
You can't do this!
You know the way. You can drive.
So, where you want to go?
That's the guy. I heard he's
What a mess.
بدي اجيب البلوت. احتاج 5 نجوم بكل مرحلة احمد. بعدين والله بهكب
You're under arrest.
You again? This harassment is starting to wear thin.
We found a box of pink slips in a warehouse full of hot cars. You signed for them, Lightball.
I signed for all the orders and deliveries. You'll need something better than that, cowboy.
Save it, Lightball. We already have all we need to send you down.
I've had enough of this. You either produce some shred of proof, or I call my attorney.
You're in the hole with the organization. We know about the debts, Lightfall.
I agree. I have a small problem. I'm prepared to help you in any way I can, Detective. I'll name names. I need you to keep this out of the paper.
You need to shut up now, Lightfall. Gordon Lightfall, I'm charging you with conspiracy and fraud. Hands behind your back.
The LAPD Central Traffic Division has today smashed a nationwide auto theft ring, writes crime correspondent, blah, blah, blah. Oh, here it is. Traffic squad detectives confronted a large group of armed thugs. After an exchange of gunfire, more than a dozen dead criminals were removed from the scene. The LAPD sustained no casualties. Damn fine work, Phelps. Now get out there and nail some more bad guys, will you? I want to finish reading this.
ست ساعات.
Well, you picked the right place, Cole. A city that needed an honest cop like a thirsty man needed water. You'd heard the stories, but you weren't interested.
مصطلحاته
You
موجود.
were here to fight the good fight, solve cases, right
شو
wrongs.
اسم المرحلة اللي تبيها؟
But the forces like politics.
Armed and
There's
Dangerous.
no
لو
sitting on the fence.
والحسين نسيت بس واحد شي يسمونه ضربوش كم طلقة هيجي in broad daylight وسدافته الجثة مال.
حتلقى مسدس بالزبالة.
والله ابيك خربت.
يا اخي حاولت اقول لك علي او من بينه
It's
والسلاح.
only a couple blocks from 14 Adam calling KGPL. We'll handle the 211.
اذا تفكر بالبلوت ما اعتقد حتفكر. حاول تسوي كل ديسباتش. اكو نظام فاست ترابل.
ما اعتقد حلحق ترى ما اعتقد افكر.
والله ختم اللعبة في يوم كامل.
اول تالي يمكن حكم اللعبة ما ادري قد والله يعني باسبوع اسبوعين.
ترى انا ب5 ايام ختمتها يعني.
لا والله بس هاي لعبتي.
اوكي صح.
لا تنسى ديترويت ثاني.
لا تنسى من امل ترى امل بسرعة واحاول تسكره رأسا.
لك هذا مسدس لقيته بالزبالة لك ايش قد تتقوان.
لك يا قلنا لك يعني لاعب قوي. اكتف تايم 22 ساعة بداخل اللعبة. miscellaneous failures 40 partner hints received 27 اوكي تروفي 47 ميل. 197 ميل بالسيارة، على حالة 161. جيم كومبليشن 72%. أشوف الترافي 5 نجوم أسهل.
مبين هاي البنية اللي بالمحل طاقته 7 طلقات من هاي اللي مرتبة.
شلون؟ لك هي من برا الطلق شلون دخلت جوا؟ فكر بعقل محقق يا أخي. بالمناسبة ماني من هيك شي تلعبها.
يابا وجهها مبروك كلش. شنو جود كوب، شنو باد كوب، شنو اكيوز، شنو هذا ديترويت.
اي ها انت هسه بديت بمنطقة التحقيق، هسه حتفهم شنو فكرة التحقيق. الجود كوب هو انه المقابق دي يحكي الحقيقة وما تشذبه. الباد كوب هو انه انت تحاول تسحب من عنده كلام اكثر فتاخذ الهارد واي وياه. الاكيوز يعني انت تشذب بده يحكي، بس الاكيوز لازم وياه دليل عندك. هسه حتشوف حركة الوجه مال البنية عادي. اول مرحلة تكون مو زين. اصلا البترول دست اللي
حجرها بجود كوب، كان اذا هي من جوا المحل شلون متدس بالزبالة برا.
لا انتظر. هو اصلا اول شيء حيراويك شو تدوس يا دقم، بس البداية هاي اول مرحلة الوحيدة، وهاي المرحلة ما بيها اي نجمة، يعني عادي تجيب بيها كلها غلط، بس على الاقل لازم تعرف انه انت تحكي صح وياه لو لا. افهمك بعد؟
يا كل شيء سمع.
خصم الكلام، شوف تفاصيل الوجه، حركة الوجه مالها، التأتئة، إذا تأتئ يعني أكو كذب بالموضوع، بس إذا تشذب البنية، إذا تشذب أو أي واحد يشذب، عندك دليل؟ إذا ما عندك دليل دوس باد كوب، إذا عندك دليل دوس أكيوز.
Do you have the address?
Been all over KGPL. It's off Temple Street, between Belmont and Glendale.
اصلا الكويستشن غلط قال لي.
يعني ما عرفت الجواب. هو ترى يقول لك هسه شو تدوس اكيوز لو
ما قال لي. انا دست لها جود كوب وما قال لي شو ادوس.
I didn't ask for you and I don't want you, so keep it to yourself. See if you can learn something about
إذا تغلط بالجواب مالتها ترى هاي تروح من عندك هذا الجواب.
What did he mean by the werewolf?
The Dahlia. The Daily News came out calling him the werewolf killer. The Examiner came up with the Black Dahlia.
We any closer to catching him?
Not a chance. 6 months and hundreds of guys running down leads and we got nothing.
You don't think this has anything to do with it?
No, I don't. 90% of murders are domestic, Phelps. Some guy gets into a beef with his wife, he takes it too far. This will be the same. But cutting someone in half and leaving them off the sidewalk, that's a one-off.
Why so many women this year?
Because of the war. You should know that. Guy gets to kill people every day in combat. Comes home, he's expected to take lip from his wife. What do you think's going to happen?
It's that simple.
Like I said, most of the time it is.
Run, you fucking idiots!
How about a scoop for the Examiner, Galloway? You could use some good press.
Another tramp, another message. Is the werewolf back in business, boys?
Do you have a mother, asshole? A sister? How about showing some respect for this poor woman? Let us do our job, and Detective Galloway will give you a statement later.
He's good, Rusty. He even sounds genuine.
That's Phelps, guys. The war hero. Defending the honor of murdered humps.
You're used to it, Phelps. Moving along, guys. You got your pictures, you got your headlines. Now scram.
بابارازي لازم بالنادي ينضربون. باباراتزي 9 ساعات. fucking hell. fucking hell.
Patrolman, this your beat?
Yes, sir. Well, part of it. Kids park here, they use it like a lover's lane. It's a working neighborhood. Some trouble, but nothing like this. It's known locally as the Moors.
You were first on the scene?
Yes, Detective.
No one's disturbed the body?
No, sir. We cleared out them vulture reporters so Pinker and the coroner could work. They're waiting to talk to you.
Go house to house and see what you come up with. Carruthers.
Phelps. You make homicide?
Looks like it. Galloway has been making me feel welcome.
I bet he has.
Has the scene been secured?
Patrolman Houlihan saw to it. The victim's personal effects are still where they fell.
Cause of death?
Could be the head injuries. She has been badly stomped. The cuts look superficial. I'll know for sure in an hour.
Interesting. What about this wound on the finger?
Something removed. A ring, most likely. I assume it was taken post-mortem.
صدق اخوي جاب ختمها الرددون.
What caused the blunt force injury to the face?
Could be anything from a baseball bat to a lug wrench. I'll have more details after the autopsy.
What's the writing on the victim mean?
BD, like Dahlia, Tex. Your guess is as good as mine. Could be something to it, or it could be the killer's trying to throw you off the scent. Either way, I'll run tests on the lipstick.
Any idea of the time of death?
From the temperature, I'd say after midnight. I'll confirm with you later.
What can you tell me about the shoe prints?
Men's size 8s. Pinker lifted impressions for me to compare back at the lab.
The victim's bag? Looks brand new. Can't be the one used on the body.
يا اخي يعني تشوتني ما جاوبك، ليش تريد اني اكمل جوابي؟ لا اله الا الله. اي كنت متوقع.
Bomba Club. Why steal a table lighter?
ليش أكفر؟ لا هاي المهمة كل واحد بيها. أنا دا أشتغل بمهمة، هو قاعد يفتر بالماب يعني مثلا برايم بوي يقول لك أنا بي أراوند ألعب.
Junk. It would take a smarter man than me to connect that.
شنو ايش بيها؟ ايه اكيد.
You've got to be kidding. We're driving this?
والله لقد ديترويت من زلزلة. كيفك؟ شنو؟ انت تحدد الجيم بلاي، تقدر تلعبها شنو بوش؟ ما فهمت. اي وكو ستيلث يعني انت تخطيطك بعد اللعبة انت ولعبك. جوست ما تقبل كلش. لا يعني من طبت يعني ردت من بداية اللعبة لنهايتها بس العب رش، ما قبلت اللعبة يعني ما تعتبر كلش. يعني مثل سبايدر مان 2. سبايدر مان 2 حتى بمرجن تقدر تركض، يعني تركض وتتعارك بيها. اي يعني هسه سبايدر مان 2 اقدر اقول لك ان اللعبة كلها تقريبا رش او بوش على قولتك.
That's not totally fantastical.
You know, the Examiner and the Daily News might be good at coming up with monikers, but they're terrible for police work. There's a reason we didn't get the son of a bitch after the short murder. It was them, locusts.
Where do you think the werewolf killer is now?
Dead by his own hand, stationed somewhere else with the armed forces. San Quentin, another town, another country, who knows? So, Phillips, I understand you want to turn this into a big case, but it doesn't work like that, all right? A case will come and find you. Can't make it something it ain't, understand?
So you don't think the werewolf has continued to operate in the Los Angeles area?
No chance. We would have found him.
شنو المحسوب على evidence
يا معنى
هذا اللي كتبت
يعني
انا اي الكتوب انا اللي كتبت واحد اول مقتول هذا بالمرحله عرفت فيه.
اي
اخذت واحد وديته اتحقق وياه انترجيشن مو له مو
اي
هسه اقدر انا عندي كلو انه هو شايل المسدس.
اي بعدين تحدد روحك تأكد انه هذا القاتل. هاي تخلص المرحله مو كذا يقول لك يعني تقدر تقوم من انترجيشن او تسوي
ادري يا اخي بس مو الجود كوب وات كوب ولخ ما افتهم شو تسوي.
جود كوب قلت لك الجود كوب يعني انت مصدق بده يحكي ويمكن يكمل حكي، على اغلب الوقت يكمل حكي. الباد كوب يعني هيك اكو وزة كذب عنده بس انت ما عندك دليل ثابت وتقدر يعني
سويت الفورس يقول لك اول ما لوير.
لا هسه خليني احكي. وعندك الاكيوز تقول له انت كذاب يابا، هي ما كذب. يقول لك شلون انا كذاب؟ اعطيني دليل ملموس. انت المفروض عندك الدليل الملموس.
عندي بس المسدس.
اي بس يعني باسمه يعني رحت الهاي اللي ابو الاسلحه
رحت ابو الاسلحه قال لي لا ما مشتري منه انا بس مشتري طلق.
يعني ما تقدر تثبت السلاح عليه.
حجرب جود كوب.
مو جود كوب. انت شفت وجهه قاعد يتحلحل
يا اخي والله ما دافت ما سالفه الوجه شنو.
الوجه ده شوفه دا يميل يمنى ويسرى يعني تحسه دا يكذب. هاي معناها جود كوب ما يتحرك وجهه ثابت هيك يظل يباوع عليك ديب ان ذا ايز هيك يظل يباوع عليك لان ما عنده يعني ما عنده شيء يضم عليه.
مدى يسوي لي اي كونتاكت.
يظل يتحرك يمين ويسرى.
يظل يتحرك وتأتي يهز براسي
اي
وبعدين
تأتي
يسوي
هاي
عيوني.
باد كوب او اكيوز. بس عندك دليل؟ جرب الاكيوز وشوف اذا عندك دليل حقيقي. اذا تريد شيء دوس تاتش باد عامل شوف الغرض اقراهن.
Do you remember a woman who came in here last night? 5'7", about 110 pounds, blonde hair, about 40 years of age.
You mean Celine Henry?
Yes. Do you know anything about her?
I don't. But the owner, Mr. McCall, serves her most nights. Would you like to speak to him?
I would.
He sits at the back of the club. Wears a hibiscus. You can't miss him. Is there anything else?
Inquire away, Phelps. I'll stay here. I'm a little parched.
ايش اسم يعني الشغله؟
ايه كوركت جبت لك كويستشن عديل ايه
هاي زين.
Detective Phelps, LA.
ترى مثل ما قلت لك انت حاليا من عندك ملابس الشرطه ما عندك اي نظام نجوم. اوكي؟
شنو يا اخي صوت اللعبه عالي كلش بدي اسمع منك. قول.
عادي. انت هسه مو عندك ملابس شرطي؟ انت ما عندك اي نظام نجوم. ورا لما تغير ملابس شرطي الملابس ديتكتيف حتبدي نظام النجوم.
انا هسه بس تعتبر توتوريال حمزاوي للعبه.
اي بس بشرط لازم تتحسن باللعبه مو تضل هيك.
Was Mrs. Henry here with anyone last night?
Had quite a head start.
But she attracted attention?
Certainly. A few gentlemen became very enamored with her and her stories. One guy in particular.
You know him?
No. He's been in a couple of times.
Did they leave together?
Yes. At around 11. If it helps, I made the guy's license plate.
I think this could be a great help, sir. Thank you. Mrs. Henry appeared to be missing a ring, torn from her finger, but not her wedding finger.
Celine always wore a red garnet ring on the large side. Larger than life, like Celine herself.
Did she have it a long time?
Sure. Since way back in her flying days.
Did her husband buy it for her?
No, it was before Jacob.
I think you know where the ring came from, and I think you're going to tell me.
Okay. I bought it years ago. I carried a torch for Celine in those days. As I always have. Her old man never knew about it.
You know the husband?
Sure I know Jacob. He was in the Corps. He met Celine on a furlough and married her when the war was finished. Put up with a load of shit.
Do you think he killed his wife?
No. No, not in my opinion.
So if it wasn't Jacob, then you probably let her out of here with the guy who killed...
زين شنو intuition؟ ايه
الو
الو المرحلة مدى احس نفسي
Stow the
ناقص شيء.
attitude, will ya? I tried to get on to Jacob. I rang him up.
مشيت السالفة يعني دا اقول له انت مالك السلاح بس دا اقول له انت يهودي وما عنده دليل انه هو يهودي.
I rang him back around 11:30. Got no answer.
اكو دليل انه هو يكره اليهود.
Thanks, Mr. McCall.
اي ما ادري بس مدى القى دليل.
142 North Union Avenue. God knows I had to send her home in enough cabs to remember that.
Refill my coffee next time, honey.
Let's get out of here.
Hey, what's the hurry? My stool was just starting to warm up nicely.
Operator, message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need a registered owner on a license plate, 2boy8899.
Yes, Detective. I'll need to contact the DMV. Shall I relay the details via KGPL?
Please. Thank you.
You're gonna kill us!
You find the booze helps you get through a
والله
working day?
حتقبل يمكن التروفي مال 95 سيارة أنا يعني فوق ال 40 سيارة
To throw out anything you collect today.
بس كذا
شنو 5 سيارة؟
اكو تروفي تجمع كل السيارات او تركبين كلهم.
اشياء سيارة
اي بس تنزل من السيارة مالتك وتروح على غير سيارة راسين يطلعون منها.
We owe it to this city to do the best we can in this position. As homicide detectives, that responsibility is all the more serious.
يقول لك police department get the fuck out of
Maybe the men
here.
combing Hollywood Boulevard after the Elizabeth Short murder were more interested in sniffing out booze than the clues that would have led to her killing.
Yeah, well, if only you'd been there, choir boy. Betty Short would be alive, the Japs would have spared Pearl Harbor, our ancestors wouldn't have tasted the forbidden fruit.
Minor syntactical error, Detective Galloway. I never claimed to be able to prevent crimes. I only suggested a proficiency in solving them. Guess that's the drink slowing you down.
Oh my God, brother, oh brother. Worse than I could ever have imagined.
ترى حتجي فترة باللعبة انا من بداية اللعبة بديت اسويها فاست ترافل دائما لان ما يخلق بعد العب اللعبة او ضجت من التنقل بها. اريد اجمع 5 نجوم لانه من ضمن النجوم انه ما تندعم اكثر من مرة.
والله بطيء اللعبة كلش.
اللعبة ترى مرة روقان. ما تصدق ما اقول لك روقان شنو يعني.
بس شي يسمونه يعني هي كان المفروض اصلا ماكو هاي سالفة العالم المفتوح.
قصدك خطيه؟ ترى انت بس تتبع الخريطة، انا الماب ابد ما فاتحها.
شفت الخريطة يا اخي بس الخريطة كبيرة.
تعرف شلون فتحت الماب؟ اكو مرحلة يقول لك شلون كانت؟ ريدل مي ذس، يقول لك انا بكذا مكان بكذا مكان، واحد تحداك تحزر هالمكان. هاي باخر مرحلة بالهومسايد، طيب بعد هواي لا توصل الهومسايد. 28 stab wound. Didn't want to leave him a chance, huh? Did you feel angry? Hate?
28.
He was bleeding to death, begging you for mercy, but you stabbed him again, not again, not again.
صدق بالمرحلة مال هانك انقذت هانك وما خليته يروح.
الله، يعني ماكو عداوة بيناتكم.
اي لا تقول لي اكسب فلور خلاه يذيب.
خلاه معود. حتى زلزلة
ليش؟
ما اعرف، عندهم شانسات عالية الولد.
عمي 89% ادري، بس يعني ترى هانك شخصية مو مال يعني ما تساعدي، يعني مثل هوزير ما تقدر، او مثل جاك، خلينا نقول جاك الصغير ما تقدر تذمه.
Side window's been jimmied. Looks like somebody's creeped the joint.
الجرايد كولكتبل بس مو كولكتبل، ما اعرف يعني جمعت 13 وحده بس ما جالي تروفي.
زين يا اخي، هاي قالتها عاد شي يسمونه، سويت لها جود كوب وقالت لي بخر ولا.
Why did you kick the door in? You think I'm gonna climb through a broken window in a $30 suit? You got another thing coming, Buster.
Celine and Jacob are obviously having problems. It speaks to motive.
Crime scene evidence still weighs against it being the husband, but Jacob could give us something to go on. One of my F's just drank like this, you'd be feeling the back of my hand.
Call in burglary and get technical services out here. I'll talk to the neighbors.
Don't take all day about it, Phelps. I get nasty when I'm thirsty.
والله يعني انت من تلعب الهومسايد حتقول واخيرا، او مو اخيرا، وانما حتحس بنظام التحقيق انه تريد تعرف ايش حيصير وراها.
A regular Amelia Earhart in her day. The ring looks distinctive. LAPD. Are you acquainted with Celine Henry, Miss?
Horgan. Jennifer Horgan. I've known Celine for more than 10 years. Our children grew up together. What's going on, officer?
Did you see Mrs. Henry go out last night?
Well, I'm no busybody, you understand, but Celine had been drinking. And she and poor, long-suffering Jacob had a terrible row. I think Jacob may have given her a black eye. He stormed out and she went back inside.
Did he come back?
No. Celine was listening to music and shouting until she left around 10 p.m. She was very drunk to have been driving. But she is not the sort of person you can stop from doing something when her dander is up. What is this about, officer? Is Celine all right?
I'm afraid Mrs. Henry has been murdered, ma'am.
Murdered? Oh my God.
مصطفى انت ما قاعد يطلع لك الفيديوهات مال ديكستر مال يونرال شتر؟
لا والله يطلع لي مال دوكس when you know the truth but you can't prove it.
عندي يطلع لي مال يونرال شتر. يونرال شتر فدنو ابو هواي الاف واي بي مالتي مضروب.
I don't think Jacob is our man, but we should see what he has to say.
سامي يسرى ترى يكبر كاميرا ويصغرها بس ما كثر كلش حرامات.
For my money, if the broad keeps the house looking like that, she probably deserved it. The skipper says bring him in and keep the hacks off our backs for a while.
Fine by me.
So it ain't the werewolf killer after all. Good to see you've come to your senses, Cole.
I always said work the evidence. I only stipulated a connection to the BD killer as an avenue of investigation we should leave open. And as far as I'm concerned, it still is.
والله هاي سبايدر مان. يا بقول لي جيم بلاي والله اتفق وياك، بس لا تقول لي القصة حلوة. يعني حتى لو والله نايمة.
Okay, Phelps, we go in hard. You follow my lead. That price is outrageous.
لو تموت ما اختلف. يلا.
You Jacob Henry?
Yeah. Who's asking?
LAPD. You're under arrest for the murder of your wife, Celine Henry.
Murder? Celine?
Save the dramatics
Oh my
for
God.
RKO, pal. You got bigger problems.
What the hell are you talking about? You come in here, you tell me that Celine is...
Take a seat, Mr. Henry. We're gonna have a look around, then we'll talk.
Jesus. I'm sorry.
بالنسبة للعبة 2011 ترى بيها هاي تفاصيل.
والله لعبة حلوة، فكرتها مو بس جديدة، ما مطروحة قبل.
كلش. ومظلومة بالنسبة لألعاب روكستار، إذا ما سامع عليها أي شيء.
أنا ما سامع عليها، أنا بس سامع عليها ميم واحد اللي هو مال دعمني ابن النهار.
بالمناسبة مال بروسكس تو دوبت ترى هاي بالنسخة مال بي سي.
يعني مو موجودة هنا؟ موجودة هنا يعني.
لا كانت الباد كوب هي دوبت، الاكيوز لاي، والجود كوب هي التروث. هاي كتابات مختلفة.
The oldest problem there is, what to do about the old lady.
I want your love and I want your revenge.
So who could have killed Celine? Where did she go last night, Jacob?
A bar, I suppose. Look, I don't know.
You know where she went, Jacob. You're lying. Why would I help you if you keep lying to me?
Look, I'm telling you, I don't know.
We know she went to the bomber club.
صدق تعرف معنى كلمة أليباي لين حتسمعها فدنا بهواي.
أليباي يعني شخصية مرة وش بيك لا كذي يعني والله ما شلون أقول لك تخلي كلون بالحقيقة يشتغل كديستراكشن. أو ما أدري شلون أقول لك كأنه يعني ستانتمان إلك.
باللعبة هنا واحد يقول إنه أنت كنت بمكان معين، يعني يقول لك مثلا واحد حشاري ويطلع لك كلو اسمه هازبندز أليباي،
يعني فولز ويتنس.
لا يعني هذا اللي يحكي لك، يقول لك انا شفت الزوج بمكان معين والزوج يشذب، يقول لك لا انا ما كنت هناك، تقول له هازبندز أليباي، حيقول لك لا اكو واحد يشهد انت كنت هناك بهالمعنى.
لا تكذبوا
وايد ترى يكذبون باللعبة.
Sorry. I left. Maybe 9 p.m. Might have been a little later, but right around 9.
Why did you kill her, Jacob? Things will go better if you come clean about it.
That's a lousy thing to say. I never gave up on my wife.
I don't believe you, Jacob. I think you didn't have the guts to do it yourself, so you had someone else do it.
You want to back that up with something, Big Mouth? Huh?
The note by the phone suggests you meant her harm.
You want the truth? Truth is, I was sick to death of her. I was trying to have her committed.
We're still gonna need you to come downtown, Mr. Henry.
We can get this all down on paper, Jacob. How you got fed up with your wife and how you figured killing her would bury all your troubles.
Kill my own wife?
She was a lush and a tramp, and you just couldn't stand it anymore.
Shut your goddamn mouth.
So now you're gonna tell me you loved her? Ah, the DA goes all gooey over remorse, Jacob.
You're awful hot under the collar for an innocent man, Mr. Henry.
What?
Call it in and get a squad car dispatched. And check for messages. Keep old Slugger here company.
Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need a patrol unit to transport a suspect back to Central.
Certainly, Detective. You have a message from the coroner. Do you wish to be put through?
Yes, ma'am.
Carruthers,
It's Phelps.
I've completed the autopsy. Several wounds to the head from a blunt metal instrument. Closest match would be a socket wrench handle.
So the cause of death was the blunt...
No, the blows to the head surprisingly were not fatal. Death was from hemorrhage and shock from the fractured ribs and multiple injuries caused by the stomping.
Anything else?
He's some kind of sex fiend. The tissues of the anus were bruised about 1/8 of an inch, but no trace of semen in the anus, vagina, or stomach.
Thanks, Doc. Operator, give me R&I. Any word on an owner for that vehicle? License was 2boy8899.
Yes, Detective. The plate belongs to a brown 1936 Pontiac. Registered owner is one Alonzo Mendez of 402 South Fremont Street, apartment 16.
Thanks. Any other messages?
One, Detective. From Captain Donnelly. He wants any and all suspects returned to Central. Interviews to be set up immediately.
Got it. We're coming in.
والله عبالي هذا دا اسوي له انترجيشن دريع خرب وجهك وضيع.
لا لا حيل مركز باللعبة.
Alonzo Mendez. Sound like a man who moonlights as the werewolf? You're behind the wheel.
يا بس انت يا سام وين عريتوه وين؟ ليش ما
real pounding.
Maybe if he had been a little firmer in the beginning, he wouldn't be in this situation now.
I imagine that Neanderthal routine is a big hit with the ladies, Galloway.
Women love me, Phelps. I have no complexity. They know exactly what they're gonna get. Don't bother knocking, just kick the door in. Take a look around and see what you can find.
العب.
Brothers could match the color and brand of the body. Consistent with Celine's injuries, and the blood can be typed.
We have the murder weapon. We better get Pinker down here.
Why keep it? Why not throw it away?
Think these clowns are geniuses? Thank your stars you caught a break, and Captain Donald will begin to like you.
Hey, what gives? LAPD, you're under arrest.
Do not lose that son of a bitch. I'll go get our wheels.
Mendez, stop right there! You don't need to do this, Alonzo!
Get in and drive. Hit him, Cole. Spit him out.
You're under arrest for the murder of Celine Henry. Hands behind your head!
I ain't saying a goddamn thing.
You did a grand job, lads. Phelps, that's quite a way to acquit yourself in your first outing as a homicide investigator. It seems the city has a new and vengeful guardian. Considering the evidence against your suspect and the thoroughness with which a report was compiled, I foresee a safe passage through the courts, and the DA agrees with me. Brutality on a scale such as this deserves retribution. The people and the press of this city demand it.
الحين شنو intuition points؟ مشكورين.
سوري صد ماكي. انتويشن يعطيك الاماكن مال كلوز بالانفستيجيشن بس
يا اخي موسى هذا شو يسمونه يقول لا عمي ما كرهان اليهود صدق كذي. قلت له possible religious motive قال لي لا. شو اسوي السان ما تقول لي؟ قال لي انت مداينه فلوس وانا عندي وصل مال فلوس. طيت هياك كان انطرد.
ترى هوايه يعني عم اتذكر وياك.
Galloway. Got it, Skipper. Yeah, I'll bring him. He's my partner, after all.
What have we got?
New case. White female dumped in plain sight in the grass at the end of Hill Street. Hacks are all over it. Captain's trying to fend them off.
That sounds awfully similar.
The first rule of police work is make no assumptions until you've seen the evidence. Skipper wants you to have your newspaper face on, college boy. I think I know the place where they found the lady. It overlooks Sunset Boulevard. Let's go.
طلع تروفي اسمها بوليس اكاديمي. اعتقد انه هذا اول شابتر. The driver's seat.
لا سمعتك
لقمت البسقاط.
ايه ديتكتيف.
I'm thinking of moving up.
You can drive.
Now, boys, you know as much as I do. I'll be holding a press conference once the autopsy's been completed. I have two of my finest investigators on the case, fresh from bringing down the sword of justice on the crazed sex
Captain,
Alonzo
aren't there
Mendez.
similarities between this murder and the murder of Celine Henry and of Elizabeth Short, for that
So you
matter?
don't believe there's a crazed sex killer at large preying on women?
Boys, be sensible. We have the greatest police force in all the world with the greatest scientific investigators at our disposal. How can any killer continue to beat that? Be advised. We keep the gas chamber at San Quentin primed for the sons of Cain who continue to believe they can take a life in the City of Angels.
Yeah, right. Any new leads in the Dahlia case?
Run along, boys, and let these officers get to work. We have God's work to do here, and it can't be delayed.
What do we have, Captain?
Another woman sacrificed. Speak to Carruthers. I want daily reports, gentlemen.
Please tell me what's going on.
Detective, I was first on scene.
You find her, Gonzalez?
Not me. The family out for a stroll. I was first reporting.
Can you show me the body?
It's under the pepper tree, this way.
All these cars. Got to be something big.
Well, we have a name. Can you run Deirdre Muller by RNI?
Back in a second.
If the motive was robbery, why not take the money? What's this mark? A cut on the finger.
Fourth finger, left hand. A wedding or engagement ring. Violently removed.
Looks like she was tied up.
شنو؟
It does at first, but that would leave a mark on her other wrist too. I think her watch might have been torn off.
يا يقول لك الترجمة العربية حلوة. والله كونر شي صحوي بالعربي. المحقق زاوية.
I'll do some comparisons back at the lab and get back to you.
جرب عليك.
The stomping angle in the Henry case, was it reported in the press?
Sure was. Every detail a copycat would want was there in the story.
أحط بيك الجرح وأدوس عليه.
RNI says a Deirdre Mahler of 130 North Bonnie Bray was reported missing this morning by her husband, Hugo Mahler.
What'd I tell you? Let's grab the husband, take him downtown, and work him over. We could have this wrapped up by lunchtime.
What about not making assumptions and going on the evidence?
You spoken to Carruthers yet? Similar MO.
To what? The Dahlia? I don't think so.
Celine Henry.
That's a closed case. This is probably another sad sack who lost his temper with a broad who wouldn't put out.
Are you a suspect, Rusty?
Watch your mouth, Phelps. All I'm saying is we got enough to do without reopening closed cases.
Talk me through it, Mal.
Severely battered, on display. Footprints would indicate that she has been stomped. Size of the footprints would seem to indicate a smallish men's shoe. What size shoe did Mendez wear?
You finished?
No, I'm not. At a glance, I would say strangulation was the cause of death. I'll need to do further tests for semen.
Angry boyfriend. If they were married, they'd be at home. Not humping out here in Lover's Lane.
How bad is it?
You drive.
Come on.
I need to go over the case notes.
Fine. Where are we headed?
الله منو ذاك اوقات مثل سبايدر مان فهي بس انه دوقع برا الموت.
We'll be home soon. He's been out looking for mommy.
What's your name, miss?
Michelle Eloise Mahler?
Can we come in?
I suppose so.
Thank you. Could you have a seat for me, Michelle? We're gonna have a look around.
يابا شنو السالفة؟
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. كلش كنت تحكي وياي.
والله ويا من؟ واحد اسمه علاوي.
اي.
يعرفك تعرفه.
شخص ما تعرفه. مصطفى. موجود؟ هذا الفيديو دزيت لك اياه مال نذير. اكو تعليق واحد كاتب داحس هذا ابو الازرق ياكله.
شنو؟ يعني
هو مو لابس ازرق فهو واحد كاتب له بالتعليقات قال هذا ابو الازرق يمكن ياكله. واحد كاتب له ابو الازرق ولا ارتاحت لك. عمي هو حركاته انوثيه زايده.
خل اشوفه
عمي
مرة
دا
ثانية.
اسوق هاي السيارة، يعني تعرف هذا الفيلم اسمه كارز مال السيارات، اكو هذا الرجال الكبير دا اسوق نفس السيارة.
هاي يا اخي هي اللعبة بالماضي، يعني ايش تتوقع حتسوق؟
والله نفس السيارة بالالوان وبنفس الشيء، 95 سيارة.
نسيت الحديد.
Is this about mommy?
نبي ما النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
Please tell me she's okay.
I'm sorry to have to tell you this, Michelle, but your mother is dead.
يا ابني يقول لك عدم استقرار البرنامج يعني شنو؟ هاي كلها طلعت لي ما افتهم، حتخلص لي ما افتهم شنو هاي.
بس بكونر تطلع لك اياه مطي.
اي ادري يعني شنو؟
كل ما تصعد كل ما تنزل ما جاوب حرق.
When did you last see your mother?
Yesterday afternoon. I went to a dance at Belmont High. Mommy was supposed to pick me up.
So what did you do then?
هاي شنو؟ خرب يومك يا ماندا.
So you were hanging around the school for quite a while. What happened with your
لا
father?
لا انا هسه عرفت ليش كونر كل مدى يموت دا يرجع.
Finally he answered. Came straight away then.
احكي له يعتبر حرق عليك لا
Some of your
سكيت.
mother's jewelry was missing. Can you describe her things?
Ring.
يا بس صدمات.
I never paid much attention to that stuff.
يابا هذا هانك يعني الوحيد اللي وياه عدائية لك ماكو شضرات كلش ما يعجبه.
منو هانك؟
اي
لك تدري هانك يمي موثوق.
لا برفضك يا بس قول لي شلون.
والله انت مطي.
يا اخي شختار يقول لي خرا. وداع اعتذار.
ترى اختياراته دائما اثنين مو زين، اثنين زينه واثنين مو زينه، فما تشوف نفسك جبت واحده زينه يا اما تقطع المكالمه وياه او تقامر بكي تجيب واحده زينه.
ما تضرب.
Your mom and dad are
تعال حالك.
happily married?
What are you saying? Of course they are.
They weren't happy, were they, Michelle? Did your father ever hit your mother?
Just the once. She said she would leave.
لا الدكتور اخطبوط شو يحكي عليه؟
Bought her a brooch pin to make
دكتور
up for
اخطبوط.
it. And he always wore her golden butterfly.
Thanks, Miss Muller. You've been very brave.
Hey! What gives?
Daddy, the police
Go to your
are
room,
here.
please, Michelle. I'll talk
يا
to you.
دكتور.
Mommy is gone.
Go to your room, young lady. She's not even out of
الله ما ليش تلعب وهذه الالعاب
You're
عربيه.
interrogating her like she's
Your
some
wife
kind
was
of
found murdered this morning.
found. What? But she only.
We have some questions that we would like to ask.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do my best.
What size shoe do you wear, Mr. Muller?
Why do you ask?
It's routine, sir. Simple process of elimination.
9s, I think.
Why are you lying to me, Mr. Muller?
Why would I lie to you at a time like this?
That's funny. The work boots we found here are size 8s. Why lie about it if you've got nothing to hide?
Because I always get teased about the size of my feet. You know, small feet, small...
Always been true in my experience.
So you were here all night. You stayed in while your wife went out to pick up your daughter?
Yes, that's correct.
You should come clean if you're having an affair or if there's something going on.
I told you I was here. Were you saying I wasn't?
So why did you take so long to answer the phone when your daughter called?
Okay, I went out for a while. I was driving around. It's my way of relaxing.
You phoned in a missing persons report this morning?
Yeah, that's right. My wife didn't come home last night. She left around 9:30. Michelle was out at dance, she called me to let me know that Deidre didn't turn up.
Did your wife ever go out by herself? To bars, nightclubs?
No. What are you suggesting? You suggesting my wife's loose? Now is not the time for you to be pushing me, mister.
Your daughter said you were having an argument.
We argued about who would pick up Michelle. I worked a full day. I wanted to come home, put my feet up.
Your wife was beaten and then strangled. In your case, you have no alibi and a history of violence towards your wife.
That's not true, god damn it.
It is true, Hugo. You're a violent man. You try to keep a lid on it at home, but sometimes you lost control. Your daughter and your wife were scared of you.
You don't know anything about me.
لأن يا ولد الشخصيات إذا كانت موثوقة وما أعرف شنو النهاية تختلف. يعني هسه هانك أدائي تختلف عن إذا كان موثوق.
يعتمد.
تدري اكسبلور كان وياه توتر كان اطق كونر بطلقه.
اي عادي هاي دائما انا هم طاقني بطلقه مره.
انت مطي. اذا يحبك ما يطقك طلقه.
ادري هو كان ما يكاره. يبا عاوز يسوي ما يرضى بي. يعني بس يابا مو هاني افكر انه دورات انه يخليني اختار شخص يعني اختيارات انه اكون متحول.
يا دخل نسأل السؤال الحقيقي. انت وين وصلت؟
اني هسه حاليا تعال عشان اخاف احكي واحرق عليه.
من قوتنا التكييف ابو طيب.
لا يمي ما عليك هي. اجهلها يا شيخ.
يلا شو والله منه؟ هنا طيزك احسن وينه؟ شو والله باع يمنا؟ يابش كم مرة ميت يمك كونر؟ مصطفى هيثم مصطفى هيثم اعطيني ميوت التو امير لا تزلزلت اعطيني ميوت امير اعطيني ميوت لا بس الي يا امير اسألهم اعطيته زلزلة مفروض كونر يتحول يعني تقدر تحوله انت ما حاول تبقى عبد للبشر اكسبلور ترى حوله هاي قولهم يشيلون ما عادها اقول اخي يشيلون
ترسم يعني.
يا براح الو
يابا اقول لك مصطفى كلاش كيج مو عايد اللعبه مدى مو كم مره عايد اللعبه امجد
تي اس ام ما عايدها ايش تي اس ام ما عايدها
تي اس ام عادها مره
بدايه اللعبه كلش هاي البدايه كلش مال الطفله
مو مالها خالص
عادها بالبدايه
السؤال انا اقدر اعيدها وشابتر
تعيدها من شابتر يعني معين وتظل تمشي من يمه
اي عادي
يعني انت بعد تختار يا اخي كمل اختياراتك الخيار ودتك كل هالاختيار
لا اقصد من اكمل اللعبه
اي تعيد من فد جزئيه
I
معينه.
heard the terrible news on
عادي
the
راح
radio.
And you can help us with our inquiries?
Yes, sir. They had a row last night. I heard Mrs. Muller screaming.
Did you see Mrs. Muller come home late last night at all?
ما ادري بس حسوني النهايه
Not
انه
at
هاي الحبكه يعني
I did see
عجبتني
Mr. Muller
اللي
put
دي
something
يصير.
in the incinerator earlier this morning, though.
I told you he was our guy. Now
لا
let's get
كلش
this
سعيده ولا كلش حزينه لحد هسه.
عرف الحبكه عرف الحبكه.
There he is now.
الحبكه هي عباره شوف تدري شو يريد مني؟ تحدث
Step away from the incinerator. Don't let him get away.
Okay, but no shooting. We need this guy to make the case.
هاي حبيبتي طول عمرك. يا هاي طايته حلقه هي. هاي
كلاوي واحده.
بس حلوه.
Check in the incinerator, Phelps. I'll hold our stupid friend here.
طول عمرك.
This doesn't look
لا
good.
والله هذا نظام الفاست ترافل انه هو يسوقني. جميل.
يسهل اللعبة على مدى 5 نجوم بس اكو ترافي يقول لك سوق 197 ميل. انا لحد هسه ما جابه ترى.
هذا بالله يجي.
يجي بالله فري روم لانه اول ترى يحتاج يسوي فري روم. بالنسبة للفري روم ترى ماكو فري روم طلع الا تروح الشابتر سلكت وتختار الفري روم مال الشابتر.
تقدر تقول انت محصور مثل تشابتر سلكت. ماكو عالم مفتوح. سالفة بتشابتر لاخ يعني؟ عرفت بالشابتر الثاني؟
انت ديتكتيف ايه؟ هي 5 شابترات.
يعني الشابتر الاول معقول هالقد سريع هذا التوتوريال؟
اي لانه دا يريدك تجمع بعد نجوم يشوفك حتجمع نجوم عدد.
انا حاليا حاجيت ويا واحد اسود 3 من 10. احذر هذا الاسود ايش يسوي؟ باقي من محفظ.
Send someone down from juvenile hall to look after a young lady.
ما ادري.
Inform Detective Phelps that the coroner has report waiting at the police morgue downtown when he's available.
والله انا ما احب شو القرآن.
Got it, KGPL. There still might be some play in the boyfriend angle.
I thought we were on our way to lock up the husband.
If he doesn't work out, that is.
Deirdre Muller has suffered enough. More than enough. You shouldn't make disparaging comments about her without even the slightest inkling of what she was like.
She was a woman, wasn't she? And all around about...
You can drive.
Saturday's the spring unveiling, Emmy. It's the first season since fabric rationing's over. We have to go.
I told you I can't Saturday. I'm busy.
Jizzy, where? You're going on another drive with Davy Gardner, aren't you?
So what if I am?
Go, Phelps. I'll take the car and see if I can cut him off.
ويلي لك يحيى اني قدام اصعب قرار اتخذته بحياتي كلها. يا حزين اكو اختيار من هذول اللي حيشق الطيزي؟
اكيد.
حويتي حويتي.
Car 11K, come in.
11K, go ahead.
11K, see the janitor. A green 1946 coupe registered to a Mrs. Hugo Moeller has been found in the parking lot adjoining the Belmont High School and playing fields. 11K, code 2.
What's your name?
Who's asking?
We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
Name's Eli Rooney.
You've been in trouble with the law before, Eli?
Son.
What are you doing around here?
I like to keep an eye on the children.
Strictly paternal, is it, Eli?
Don't sass me, boy.
A woman was abducted here last night, Eli, and murdered.
And I would love to make you for that, you looking motherfucker.
But I wouldn't know nothing about that. A woman, you say? I like 'em a little younger than that.
Turn out your pockets, Eli.
Now, why would I do that?
Because I'm about to break your fucking skull, Eli.
You're under arrest, Eli. You're in very deep trouble. Get some backup down here, Rusty. We need to get this one downtown and into a cell.
I'll tell them we got a kitty raper coming in. They can roll out the red carpet.
What time did you see the person park the car?
Late last night, after school social, maybe 1 a.m. We've been keeping a good eye out lately. We've had problems with the child molester.
Eli Rooney. We've met him.
Filthy son of a bitch. He was here yesterday before the dance.
Was it him you saw park the car?
I don't know, sir. I'd like to say yes, but the truth is it was pretty dark.
Would you say Rooney is violent?
Yes, sir. I would say so, yes.
Thanks for your help. Blood and skin samples. We better get Ray Pinker out here.
It's from a Chrysler. Could be important.
The overalls are stenciled HM. Noire is a mechanic. I wonder what Eli does for a living. Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need interrogation set up at Central for both suspects being held in the Mahler homicide case.
Certainly, Detective. I'll get in touch with the watch commander.
Thanks, ma'am. Can you drive to this one?
Where exactly are you going? I say we make Rooney for this.
Phelps, Rusty, thanks for coming.
Can you blood type the shoes that we bagged and see if they're a match?
Sure. It'll all be in the report, but I'm assuming you want the details now?
Please. Cause of death is strangulation?
Correct. Take a look at the samples on the bench.
What are the normal uses for that kind of rope?
On boats, mooring lines.
Correct. Although Ray says that they're sometimes used as bell ropes in churches.
ملعون.
So are we looking for a sailor or a minister?
Well, in my experience, sailors seem to have the greater libido.
Was Mrs. Muller criminally attacked?
No external or internal traces of semen.
Thanks, Mal. Anything else comes up, you let us know. You know the way. You can drive.
Not exactly the happiest of places, the coroner's office.
اعتقد كشفت السالفة. انا بالكيس والله ما شو اسميه.
بداية المرحلة اقول لك اسمها.
Who the fuck is Nicole يا اخي؟ هذا ادريان بلاك معقولة كان cheating وياها وكتلة زوجتي؟
You better not go soft on me in here, Phelps.
We'll work the evidence, Rusty. Let him do the rest.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Here's where we stand, Hugo. Your next-door neighbor heard screaming coming from your house. You were burning your blood-stained shoes. You have no one who can confirm your whereabouts last night. Your daughter says you're a violent man. We have everything we need to send you to death row, and all you have to say for yourself is, I didn't do it.
كأنك كلش خفيفة؟
I swear I didn't.
أي مو
Give me that
مهمة.
lie test. I can prove it.
وإذا
تن هاي مهمة يعني. أو مو كلش مهمة وإنما كلو.
وإنما متعلقة بمالتك الكيس.
لا مو شرط مو شرط.
Believe what?
It's rabbit's blood.
لقيت نيوز بيبر اقول لي اكو كلوز تلقاها متعلق مو الا بالكيس مالتك وانما بغير كيسز.
ترى هاي كلش مهمة. يعني الجرايد يمكن اهم شيء. انا مجمعين كلين تخيل بدون ما ادري بقالي بس وحدة طلعت باول مرحلة كلش. يعني مجمع 12 من اصل 13.
مع الشرطي؟
اي مثل ما قلت لك مجمع 12 من اصل 13 وحده. ترى له علاقه بال يعني بالبلوت تويست مهم.
Your wife was beaten with a tire iron, Hugo. An appropriate choice of tool for a mechanic.
I know nothing about any tire iron.
You're lying, Hugo. You're gonna have to come clean on this.
You got no proof.
Your wife drove a Chevrolet, Hugo. What make of car do you drive?
A Chrysler Airflow.
So I guess that explains why the tire iron that killed your wife came from a Chrysler. We found your wife's car. Someone parked it at the school late last night. Do you have anything to say about that?
It wasn't me.
Where do you keep your work clothes?
I keep them at work in my locker.
Enough lies, Hugo. Your overalls put you at the scene of the crime last night.
My overalls are in the laundry of my house.
Green overalls, blood-stained, with the initials HM found in the trunk of your wife's car.
They can't be mine.
Why, Hugo? Because if they were yours, they'd be in the incinerator too?
I need a drink. I got
Captain, we were on our way to interview Eli Rooney.
Yes, Phelps, I know. This particular fiend is an old acquaintance. I have tried to reaffirm his belief in a wrathful and terrible God. Whichever way it goes, I'll be dealing personally with him.
You look like you've had it rough.
You see me asking for your sympathy, boy?
You down on your luck, Eli?
I had worse. My family ate roadkill during the Dust Bowl.
But you have a job. A parolee has to have a job, correct?
I had me a job down in San Pedro. I'm looking for something new.
This place you worked have a name?
Hennessy Marine. You can't miss the place. Big yellow letters, HM out front.
They give you any workwear, Eli?
Sure. Green coverall. Dang thing was hot. Felt like I was back in the pen wearing it.
You ever tie up any of your victims, Eli?
It's not a nice thing to go calling them.
What would you call them?
I can't say. I learned a long time ago not to go talking about the things I like. Talking about it just seems to get people's dander up.
Answer the goddamn question, Rooney, before I brain you.
See what I mean? Short answer is yes.
You have any preference regarding rope, Eli?
I know a good rope from a bad rope, if that's what you mean. That's not what you mean, is it? Any old rope will do me fine.
Farm boy like you, Eli, must prefer McGay for roping. Am I right?
I prefer braid. Tie hitching braid. It stays tied.
You killed Mrs. Muller and stole her jewelry.
That ain't so. I ain't done nothing like that.
You have no job and nowhere to live by the smell of things. And you need money. You've been in trouble before, Eli. Who do you think a jury will believe?
I've been in trouble for other things, but I ain't never killed no one. I saw that car coming to the parking lot late last night. Man got changed there and put his coveralls in the trunk. I saw him drop the butterfly in the lamplight, and he strolled out, cool as you like. And I went over and I picked it up.
Eli Rooney, I'm charging you with the first-degree murder of Deirdre Muller.
You want to put me back in the stir that badly, boy? You go ahead and try. I'll beat that rat. I ain't a killer.
ستة من ستة يابا بيرفكت مرحلة ديتكتيف مصطفى إلى الإنقاذ.
Phelps, Galloway. Congratulations are at hand.
يا رب 5 نجوم. إذا مو 5 نجوم والله ما لي خلق أعيد المرحلة. كل مرحلة 42 دقيقة. لا تندل يعني بيها.
We need swift and merciless justice for poor Deirdre.
داعش الحمد لله. سوينا 5 نجوم.
لقوا سترينجر ثينجز. شنو طفى الراديو؟
ليش؟ ترى الراديو أول موسيقى تقريبا باللعبة.
والله ما أدري بدأ أفتهم ليش خالي.
بس شلون رأيك بالموسيقى بشكل عام؟
والله شلون أقول لك وما تدري الأستريك مال لعبي.
We have just cause for celebration. Galloway and Phelps are sending another fiend to San Quentin. A nice showy trial, and he'll be strapped down with gas seeping into his tiny reptile brain. Now, to fresh business. Galloway and Phelps, the task is at hand. The address is on the hill, north downtown off Fremont Avenue.
مستطاع اني تفرجت نو كنترول فور اولد مان. عرفت ليش انت ما حبيته؟ لان ما فهمته. مو انا اذا تفرجت مقطع
لا لانه اعرفه انه بس واحد يروح يكتل بالناس يطلع.
يعني
شنو هدفه ما اعرف، شنو عيشته ما اعرف.
مشكلة لازم الا تتفرج المقطع.
fine morning indeed. We keep locking them up, but the
لا
bodies
كافي على
keep
اللعبة
piling.
حلب. هاي يمكن التعليق
Californians love
تكرر.
a fad, Phelps.
بس خلنا
As
نتأكد.
long as the bricks hold up at San Quentin, there'll always be killers in this town to send.
مو نجيب البلات. وين حسابي؟
Detectives?
Phelps and Galloway, homicide.
Scene secure. The rest of the patrolmen are going door to door.
تعليق تكرر ما أعرف ليش.
قاعد السيارة مع الشرطة وأنا الشرطي.
This looks awfully familiar.
هل يحاسبوني؟
I think that's the impression the boys from the exam
لا
took
يمكن.
them as well.
There's nothing original under the sun. Why should murder be any different?
What do we
لما لا
have so
تلعب
far?
جي تي اي تجي قبل على الله نوير.
Evidence to speak
ترى ما
of.
ترهام.
Storm blew in around 10 last night, and the rain washed most of it away.
And the body? Looks like she was tipped out of an automobile from
دا
the
اسوي هاي اللي كنت مو لك تايم ايفنتس وانما الكرايم اللي تصير بالسيتي بشكل عام.
For my money,
ترى عليه تروفي. تكمل نص يجيك تروفي اسمه كلش حلو. تكمل كلهن يجيك تروفي واصلا ما ضمن 100%.
blunt force trauma. Knock him over the head, then strangle and
اخوي يقول لي تساعدني بتروفي اتردد.
At least she was left clothed.
I doubt very much he was concerned with her dignity.
The green silk dress is very distinctive. Any sign of her other shoe?
No. And no handbag or other personal effects.
There appears to be a dry cleaning label. Superior Laundry Services, F1363.
You catch all the good ones, Phelps.
اكو كيس فيلد واكو هاي الشغلات الطيبة.
No drag marks.
طبق اللي عندي اياها.
Killer was moving around.
رميت على واحد بالغلط كان تجي براس الشرطي مو براس
ايه عادي.
عادي. بعيدة طبعا.
الإعادة ايه لأن المفروض ما تعيد هيجي.
لا رجعني قريب من هناك.
اكوش كم مرحلة يعيدك
Our
بعيد.
driver and our killer are most likely one and the same.
Detectives, I've been working the houses across the street. This lady thinks she has something for us.
Detective Phelps, LAPD.
I'm Mrs. Barton, Catherine Barton. I live just across the way.
Did you see anyone around here last night?
Not last night, but yesterday, early evening, I saw that awful hobo.
Do you have a description?
Tall, gaunt, horribly disfigured. I think he may have had an accident in the war. He's a very scary, angry man.
Any idea where we might find him?
One of the hobo camps around here. He's some kind of hobo leader. They all follow him around.
Thank you, ma'am. You've been a big help.
Of course. Anything I can do to help. I'd hate to think that something so ghastly could happen right here and nothing be done about it.
ايش قال الجوهر قبل ما يموت؟ لا
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an address on Superior Laundry Services.
قطع على راسي.
Just a moment. Superior Laundry Services. 1260 West 1st Street.
Can you track down reports of hobo camps in the vicinity?
ويلي. يحيى يحيى علي حافظ. يحيى الو. everybody hear me. شنو ما حد يسمعني؟ الو. صوت.
جديدة.
الو
هاي
Signal Hill.
Just a moment. Detective. There's a large camp under the bridge on Grand between Temple and Sunset.
Thank you. You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Fine. Where are we headed? No message.
Excuse. Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. We're investigating a case, and one of your laundry labels came up. F1363.
If you give me a minute, I'll go find a register and you can take a look. You take a look for yourself. I've got clothes that need pressing.
At least the rain stopped. We can change back into those white bucks now. You wrote the number down on that dress, is it there?
Mrs. T. Terrellson, 43 Emerald Street, Westlake. You can drive.
And where exactly are we going? I've got a feeling we're about...
Looks like a match with the ligature marks.
Hello? Yes?
Detectives Phelps and Galloway. Is your wife home, sir?
My wife went out last night and she hasn't come home.
Can you describe your wife and what she was wearing?
We were out at a friend's place, Bobby Ross's, for a party. She was kind of dolled up. She had her green silk dress, open-toed white shoes. Those are her favorite shoes.
Can we come in, Mr. Terrellson? I'm afraid we have some rather bad news. Do you have someone who can look after your children, Mr. Terrellson?
I've been trying to arrange a sitter. Look, tell me what's happened.
I'm afraid your wife was murdered last night. Her body was found this morning. We're very sorry for your loss. I know this is a difficult time, Mr. Terrellson, but we are going to need you to answer some questions. First, we're going to take a look around.
What for? You don't think
It's procedure. You see to your girls.
Stay here till Daddy's finished talking to these men.
Where's Mommy?
Everything's gonna be all right, sweetheart.
We would like Mommy to come home now, Daddy.
What's the problem, Terrellson? Let him search. You got nothing to hide. You want to hear something funny, Terrellson? Some bums think filling out a missing persons report actually rules him out as a suspect.
Need to check if she was a regular. I wonder why the picture was turned down. Baron's bar again. Someone must be real sweet on this dive. If you'd excuse me, ladies. We could see if Pinker can match the impression to the crime scene. So she went out without her handbag? She'd have to be in quite a state to leave this behind. At least she was spared that particular indignity. Lars was out in the rain last night. I'll be out of your way momentarily, ladies. Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Can you run an address for a Bobby Ross? Then send some uniforms over.
Would you like him picked up?
No. Suspect says he was with Ross last night. We need to confirm the alibi.
لحظة أنا إيش دست يابا والله دست خرب إصبعي الكبير.
For the record, Mr. Terrelson, what is your wife's name?
مرة ثالثة.
Teresa.
Do you have any idea why anyone would want to hurt your wife?
No. Everyone loved Teresa. She was so full of life. It can't be anyone who knew her.
I think you're lying, Lars. I think you were mad at your wife for embarrassing you in front of your friends. I think you came back here and strangled her and then dumped her body on the hill.
You think I strangled my wife? How do you expect to prove that?
السبب شنو؟ إجاباتك غلط لو قاعد تدعم هواي.
عندي إجابات 2 غلط و300 بالفيكل دمج.
لا مو مال فيكل دمج ذات.
هذا 2 وبس سؤال واحد جبته غلط. بيم هذا الأسود اللي بالبار.
أغلب السود وجههم يبين.
مو الأسود قصدي واحد أبيض بالبار. أحاول أتوت ماله.
You said you went to a party at Bobby Ross's place?
That's right. Bobby had a bunch of people over. We were having a good time. She said she was bored and decided to leave.
You let your drunk wife leave the party and go off on her own?
Look, I was angry. I was having a good time. She has to go and ruin it. We always have to do what she wants to do. Last night she wanted to go dancing.
Any idea where?
Where she always goes. Bar down on North Beaudry Avenue. Baron's bar. She goes there, drinks too much, gets maudlin, and calls me. I go and bring her home.
Mr. Terrelson, was Teresa happy at home?
Yeah, I think she was.
Spill it, Terrelson. We like the look of you for this, so you better give us something.
We're at the party. She has a few and says she wants to go out dancing.
كل شيء عمي فضيحة هاي.
يا اكثر شيء مضوجني بسن العقل هاي اللثه اللي بعدها لازقه تتحرك بكيفها كل شويه عاضها.
We only have the sitter until 9. I get mad. I tell her to go ahead, but I'm staying. She storms out. Look, I'm doing well at cards. I hardly ever do well. I married her because she was so much fun, but now she drives me fucking crazy.
What time did she leave the party?
About 8:30, maybe a little earlier.
When was the last time you saw your wife?
Around 8:30. The card game at Bobby's is wrapping up. Played out my hand and drove home here. Paid the sitter and went to bed.
You're lying, Lars. You didn't come straight home, did you?
And how do you figure that?
You were out in the rain. You got soaked, Lars. We found your wet weather gear.
Okay, I stayed a little later than I said. This cute little brunette was hitting on me. Teresa noticed. I was half cut. I walked her home from Bobby's, but nothing happened. I walked back and got the car this morning.
Thanks for answering our questions, Mr. Charlton. You'll need to go downtown to identify your wife's body.
I should have taken her dancing.
In my experience, Mac, if you give in to broads, you'll be giving in to them your entire life. Sounds like the Terrelson broad had her last drink at Barron's Bar. We should check the place out.
Appreciate your time, sir.
You believe this guy's story?
Kind of rings true.
I think we ought to investigate the hobo lead.
Well, if you think we ought to, then I guess we ought.
We're looking for a tall man with a disfigured face. You know him?
Huh? What? I fought in 2 wars, you know, son. I think I earned some peace and quiet.
The bum isn't here. We should follow the other lead. These guys can wait.
You know the way. You can drive.
Fine. Where are we headed?
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
يابا بشر البارتي غير مصطفيتم وينكم؟
ها موجود.
شوية
لك يحيى هاي ثالث مرة ادوس على خيار ما اريده من ورا صبعي الكبير.
مطي
طلع عيده وعيده.
خير مرة سويته بكلاش اوف كلانز.
اي والله صارت حتى عادي شابتر طويل.
والله ترى وصلت حالة انه ما ابو على يده. انه اعرف الدقم بعد ما يحتاج.
والله جزيل شكر جود اوف 4. اني مغمض كيف تسوي.
هاي قضية هو من ورا جود اوف 4
داير ودشت اكس بالغلط.
من ورا جود اوف 4 صارت هيجي.
What time did Teresa leave?
Around 10:30, I think.
Who the fuck is Jericho, nigga?
On foot? In a car? By bus? How was it?
She called for a cab.
Did you get the number?
Sure I did. I like Teresa. The only time
يحيى هل من الممكن ان اللعبة تكون اطول بحسب اختياري؟
من هي؟
ديترويت؟
ايه اكيد.
يعني ساكو غير هنا مكملة اللعبة؟
Put out an APB on the cab.
من ورا اختياراتهم التعبانة ايه؟
Should be Teresa.
ادري
لا سبت موت. اي شايف مثلا قبل فيها كارت تحاول ديفين تقدر تظل ثابت بمكانك.
وتودي صدق في حال ان اثبت بمكاني وتودي يصعد فوق ويضرب بوليس. ورا من الرجال يعني مرة قابلني عاد.
اي قلت لك لانه حيشوف البنية الصغيرة ميتة يقول انت السبب.
الله يساعدك.
Get a good look at these guys? Sure. I got a good look. One of them was a sailor in uniform.
وانا شردت بيه.
وليد بن اشرد.
And the other man?
ابن عم الامير.
Is Richard Bates. He's sitting in the back right now. Red polo shirt.
مال بيتر.
Any idea where she was headed?
Nope. I didn't get that.
يا اخي من يخلي الصعوبة بهيك العاب؟
The husband said she wanted to go.
لا والله تخبلوني.
She always wants to dance.
والله تخبلوني.
She was trying to talk some guys.
والله صرت بحالة اذا ما كنت رافع الصعوبة واغلس عليه الا جود اوف وور. جود اوف وور احب الصعوبة.
اذا تحب التعدي ما تلعب بلول ما تلعب هاي لو قاعد لك بس على الالعاب الجاي.
والله نظام الصعوبة صرت ما احبه ابد. لا اكو صعوبات يعني بمعنى اخر دا يقول لك لا تلعب. شايف هاي الصعوبات اللي تقول لك طلقة واحدة وتموت له هيك هاي تضوج. بيها بس تدوس دارة بوقت صحيح.
This is Bates.
That's him.
LAPD. Don't make me chase you, shitbird. You can't let the son of a bitch get away.
She wants a 5-star.
Fly me
Bates,
to the
we just want to talk.
moon. Let me play.
Come on, got a ride. I thought you were gonna leave me there.
Who knows what this guy will pull when he's cornered? We could have a killer on our hands.
You gotta get me closer.
I don't think the killer would be kicking back in the bar where he met the Vic in.
Listen, a creature of habit is your killer. For some reason, they're sticklers for routine. Hit him, Cole. Spit him out. I'll try to shoot out his tires. Wish me luck. Hit him. Clean this asshole off the road. Let's end this farce. All right, you got me. I've had enough.
Put your hands where I can see them. Okay, Bates. You're gonna answer some questions.
I have a choice in this.
Last night, you went drinking with a lady in the bar. She's dead. And your face is all messed up.
I'm in the clear on that. She preferred a sailor. You could lay it off on him. Are we finished?
Do you want my partner to sap you? Tell us what we want to know.
She was okay. Drunk. Pissed off at her old man, wanting to go dancing. I thought I'd ply her with a few drinks and get my end away. Looks like your salty had the same idea.
So what happened when you left the bar?
Sailor boy laid one on me. A cheap shot. After that, I don't know.
You've done time, haven't you, Richard? Is that why you ran?
I'm on parole.
On what offense?
Sexual assault. Look, I was lying there on the sidewalk. He flags a cab and jumps in with the broad.
We're taking you in, Bates.
How come?
Just for a chat. Nice private chat. I'll explain my theory of once a degenerate, always a degenerate.
Take him to Central. He's a material witness in a murder case. Find him a cozy cell.
Richard here knows the drill.
يعني خلاص مش
كل خرا.
هشوفك تاني
operator. Give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help,
قصتك
Detective?
جايب لك.
I need an APB out on a yellow cab, number 3591. Ask dispatch to relay all sightings to car 11K.
No problem. I'll get on the radio.
Were there any incident reports filed in the vicinity of Barron's Bar on North Beaudry Avenue? We're tracking a sailor who was involved in a fight outside the bar.
I can check the reports, Detective. I have a message for you from Captain Donnelly. Message reads, James Jessup, U.S. Navy able seaman, has information relevant to your case. Jessup is currently being detained at Central Station.
Could be our man. Thanks.
When is it?
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
And where exactly are we going?
He's in interview too.
Thanks. What do you make of him?
Sailor on furlough who looks like he's in trouble and knows it.
I've been in this job 20 years. I never fired my gun.
Detectives Phelps and Galloway. We know why you're here, Jessup, so it would be best if you answered our questions truthfully.
I don't want any trouble. That's why I'm here. I heard on the radio about this lady getting killed. I got leave from my CO to come down straight away.
So why did you kill her?
I didn't kill anyone. Look, you need to believe me.
Let's start at the beginning. You went to Barron's Bar. What time did you arrive?
I got a 24-hour pass. I got there around 7.
That's where you met Teresa Terrellson?
Sure. We had a couple of drinks.
So you tried to make a woman who was incredibly drunk?
Look, I'm not proud of myself, but I never hurt her.
You took her dancing?
That's right. Caught a cab to the Crystal Ballroom.
You had a fist fight with Richard Bates over Mrs. Terrellson.
You met the guy? He's a creep. You should take a look at him for this.
He's pointing the finger directly at you, Jessup.
I only had one night before I was back in the tub. He had all the time in the world to look for some action. I belted him. I'd do it again. She was better off with me.
Sure. You're a shining example of chivalry, Jessup. We're holding you till we can clear this with the driver.
Yeah, my CO said as much.
Can you put the guy in 2 in a cell and inform the commander?
Sure, Detective. Got a message for you. Sighting of your disfigured hobo on Grand between Temple and Sunset. And it looks like the BAE has a record, too. He's wanted in connection with 2 female assaults.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm thinking of moving up.
You're behind the wheel.
Fine. Where are we headed?
Three suspects at
LAPD. We'd like a word with you.
Save it for someone who's interested. They're fascists. Come to move us on and steal what little we have left.
6 rounds won't get us far. I need you to stay copacetic, Phelps. You need to hold out to the cavalry rounds.
How do we do that?
Like this.
Buckshot to keep you down, Phelps.
You want your rightful share.
These men know they're hard.
Need to...
What's your name?
Comrade Stalin.
Very funny. We'll find out from your personal effects.
Stuart Ackerman.
You're under suspicion for murder, Ackerman. We're taking you downtown.
You can't do anything more to me than what the Japanese have already done.
The Kremlin's over here, Phelps. Toss it, see what you find.
Looks familiar. Safe bet it'll match the mark under Teresa Terreldson's chin. Ackerman doesn't look like much of a dancer. Circumstantial. You can drive.
And where exactly are we going?
You know the way. You can drive. The husband has an alibi, but no real motive other than neglect. Jessup's alibi checks out. Bates is a recidivist. He'll be pulling the same shtick until we put him away for good. Ackerman has history, opportunity, hard evidence. What motive?
We have the evidence. We know she was here. All we need is a confession, and we can charge the bum with murder.
We're going this way.
Ackerman, you were in the Marines.
How do you know?
The Corps selected big guys for flamethrower duty. That's how you got the burns.
Life expectancy was 5 minutes for a guy in flamethrower detail. What kind of a government puts weight like that on a man's shoulders?
You'll get no argument from me. It was a heavy load.
You feeling sorry for this smelly fuck?
هاي جيب لك جيب خلص الله نوير قبري والله
خلصها
بعد يتعب اهو عطلات
ده يمشي لك
اقول لك شنو اطلع من حسابك لو شنو الدسه
شو عليك ابقى
وقندران
قندران ما يلعب هسه درع هيري
يا ابويا شنو هيري قول
I have many places. I go where I please.
لا بس لا طلع امير
طلع لا غير تقول لي كان قلنا له على هيري
وين وصل؟
من يتعارك ويا بيتر.
California does not execute mental patients.
I don't know the names of the women I've killed, but I've killed many of them.
شنو قصدك على من يصير فينوم؟
هو واصل صاير فينوم.
Stuart Ackerman, I am charging you with the murder of Teresa Terrelson.
شنو هاي؟ لا أولي ذا 4 نجوم. يمكن هنتار.
بابا البس لي بلات واطلع قبل.
اوكي.
ها؟
توكل.
بابا البس لي بلات واطلع قبل.
But a filthy red who chooses to live outside the rules of society, I cannot stomach. Maybe poor threes of Tarleton will provide the catalyst we need. I've spoken to the chief and the mayor, and I think it's time we send some men in to remove the godless and send them on their way over the county line. A grand day and a grand result you have brought me. You two are fast becoming my finest crusaders.
هذا لسان الحلو مال منو؟
هوني.
اوه.
غلطنا 4 نجوم، ضيعت 42 دقيقة من عمري.
حظك اي والله.
يعني اتوقع كل نهاية طلع الطيسة اعتقد يعني. نكمل. كل النهايات اللي صارت عندي كلها طالعة طيسة.
ما طيب.
يعني اختيارات والله بعد يعني مو كل شيء مبين بس ويلي على ربك.
We will look into it. Yes, I'm aware that it's an election year. Keep a hold of your hat, Counselor. Now is not the time to lose your nerve. It would appear that someone has hocked a rose gold wedding ring and matching engagement ring. Sound familiar?
Deirdre Muller.
Press the pawnbroker and see what you can find out. The address is 348 South Main Street.
لا خرب اصبع الكبير.
خربي كلك ليش بس اصبعك كبير؟
Then get out to the railroad depot on Santa Fe Avenue. We have another poor unfortunate found this morning beside a railroad line. 40-year-old white one.
Right, Skipper.
Another body and Deirdre Muller's ring.
كسي والله النهاية طالعة طيسة.
The fact that he's wearing no clothes.
Exactly. Did you get that book of riddles shoved up your ass? This guy was the old man you paid college tuition for?
ايه.
Can you drive to this one?
You've got to admit, this is looking odd.
Anyone could pawn a ring.
But if you take it along with all of the other indicators...
Cole, Hugo Muller was identified
والله نايس اختيار موفق.
He's a...
وش قاعد يلعب نير؟ لو ديترويت.
شنو هسه؟
زلزلة مال نير. زلزلة مال نعال.
مو زلزلة.
مصطفى ديترويت. بس ما ادري يحكي.
لك مو قدر نروح على شو اسمه؟ على نير واني ما اريد اكمل ردد.
صارت عليه لمة. بعد حتى بدي الله ينوير.
عربي هما. دودة يبلش كل شيء ويعوق.
How much did you give him? $50? Try another number. 20? Try 10.
راح اشتري هذا
عمي ابلش بكل شيء ولا اقعد اطول بشعر ارثر ما عندي شغله عمل.
هسه راح اروح اشتري له والقران هسه دق له ليحيى دق له راح اروح اشتري من هذا مال التطويل مال الشعر. اني خلصت.
الله يكون بعونك. يتربى بعزك.
رحم الله والديك.
ويلي.
خلنا نروح للدكتور.
Thanks for the tip. Does this mark mean anything?
Hallmark. Gives you an idea of the quality.
What have you got on the guy who brought these in?
Goes by the name of Percy B. Shelley. Gave an address. 15 Poland Street, London, Tulare County.
Can you give us a description of the man who pawned these rings?
Not sure. Medium height, medium build, dark hair, I think. Sorry. He just had one of those forgettable faces.
We'll be in touch, Mr. Bremner. You can drive.
Fine. Where are we headed?
You boys ready? Follow me.
كان مهم هذا. عذرني صديقي مهم.
We have a problem.
We could have the local troopers.
اقول لك حسن افتح الشير بلاي اريد اتفرج عليك والعب اللعبه.
واو.
Check out the Tulare County address.
The address is bogus. Purpose having fun with it.
بس خلنا اطفي صوت لعبتك.
Hard, isn't it?
لا بروح
I
السيد.
look after all the rail depots.
What have you got?
The Negro.
لا
some
بروح
gangs called
السيد.
them. I came down here to make sure him and the other guy.
لا بروح السيد.
Jameson found the body?
Something like that.
ويلي يعني انا من بداية
We'll talk to the coroner. Keep an eye on both of them.
لا ويلي.
Maybe someone at Mensch's will remember her.
الكيات اول واحد.
Someone was trying to get her to come home. We could go over to the lot and see what they know about her.
That's gonna be
لا
difficult, Cole. Keystone Studio lot closed back in 41.
لا.
This is a chit for personal items, not booze. It's an angle worth investigating. What have we got here?
White female, approximately 40 years of age, lipstick smudges on the face, but no writing, at least nothing legible. A blunt force trauma to the temple, nose, and eye regions. Ligature marks point to the probable cause of death being strangulation.
Any idea of the time of death?
From her temperature, after midnight would be my guess.
يا اخي والله صندوق تعب النفس ما احبها.
ساندونيس لعب النفس لك انت كون هسه دق بالنعال على راسك على جديد 45.
تقول شارع واحد ويتمرض به آثار وخرا كله خرا ما يمدعج.
عمي تقول بغداد من كمية
يعني
الكبريت.
ها؟
تقول بغداد من كمية البولوشن.
بولوشن؟
قطعة بالسوق.
والله عظيم خيره شنو الحلو يا مو فاتح الشارع بليل شو؟
ما يبغى تلوث.
عمي شنو السالفة بغداد مو هيك.
لك يا هي كملتها بس نشيتها.
لا.
اي والله. يعني بس شغلة واحدة زينة. ثلاث اشياء والله يعني الشغلة الوحيدة اللي ردتها تصير زين يعني شقت. أبي والله لعبة حظ يعني.
About 7:30 this morning, sir.
Thanks for your help. Have you given Patrolman Hart your detail?
I have, sir.
Thank you.
أريد أعيد.
مربيت تريد من عندي شغلة.
لك هذا حيرستني ابني كيف خرب بالعيشة الجاي فيه. ماكو اختيار اجيبه يطلع لي موفق. موفق هذا مدير العرفان.
موفق ايه مدير العرفان ايه عرفان.
منو
عمي كارا راح تترست.
ايه عادي انا مترستت بس كان عادي متوقع مو مشكلة.
محمد هنا خسرها.
محمد هنا ايش سوى؟
هنا خسر اللعبة او خسر كارا كلها.
ليش؟
ناس تشوف بس كانوا مرحلة.
يعني رستها؟
ما رست ايش محمد الوحيد فيكم ما يرست او مستويته معينة.
شنو؟
محمد وانت لحد هسه ما مرستين اي شيء. مو بقد زلزلة
لا مو الهاي احكي على كارا رستت.
اي رستت طبيعي ترست.
يعني وين رستت؟
قصدي تعيد اللعبة تعيد مرحلة معينة غيرها.
ما راح اعيد انا هسه كملت اللعبة.
اي بس
ما عدت اي مرحلة
عدت
مرة واحدة يا اخي.
شنو يعني تختلف؟ عدت اللعبة
وصراحة كانت يعني ما يستاهل انه اعيدها. ما اتوقع حيأثر هذا الشيء.
لا انت اذا تموت 4 مرات يعني ماكو شيء غباء.
وين؟
اكو تروفي تموت 9 مرات بكونر انت ميت بنصهن.
اي عادي وين مشكلة.
It's not against the law.
Shut up.
There's no law against it.
Like a man. Turn out your pockets, Ferdinand.
زين اقدر ما اموت ولا مرة بكونر؟
اي انا هذا اللي صار لي.
ولا لا
انا لحد هسه ما ميت بكونر.
Classic Carmine.
يا بس هاي هم سواي لو كانت الكارا رايحه منها هاي داخل الراس كلها احسن لي. على الاقل يصير مرحله واحده بين كونر مو مرحلتين.
والله هايد اللعبة من البداية مو من الشابتر اصلا.
You went through her purse?
It wasn't like she needed it. I took a look.
Did you take any money?
Wasn't any to take.
يا شلون نسوي سكيب للخرا اهو.
Not much else.
الكريدت ما بي سكيب.
You found the body?
Yes, I did. I work here. I was coming off shift and headed home.
This is my story.
Why didn't you report the body, Jameson? Do you know how this is going to look to a jury?
ولك أرفع الرجال حكيم.
What gives?
حكيم عمار.
I could tell she was dead. I came through here about midnight last night. She wasn't here then.
Let me belt him again.
You're
والله
under
العظيم باع
arrest.
الحياة وباع
We'll see how
الهار.
this plays out. Until then, you can think a little on how you'd like to be treated if you were found dead.
I'm telling you, it's not illegal. Me and some friends of mine.
Clyde, you get this sack of shit into a cell.
قول يا عيوني.
I'll deal with him
قول يا
later.
عيوني.
Sure, Rusty.
حسن هاي كرادة بالليل. هم هيك
You're
اجواء
behind the
حلوة.
wheel.
And where exactly are we going?
يا اخي والله يقول لي شو اسمه، يقول لي لا ساندنيز حلوة مصطفى. هسه راح اروح انبق مقابر لحد هسه اتذكر هيك مهمة. والله العظيم.
هو هذا الايطالي دزك.
مو عصابة.
هل تسمح لي بالمغادرة؟
لا كارا هربت. يا الله يا الله يا فتاح يا كريم.
هسه اوف كارا هاي كلوي بتكمل تقول لي هل تسمح لي بالمغادرة؟ هاي متأثر لو لا؟
بكيفك لا والله عادي.
لك ميموري كوربشن ريبيرد وعلى راسي.
الله ياك.
LAPD, Phelps and Galloway.
لك اليوم علي اشعلها بالنعال اطلع المسدس مالتي اليوم. خلي يجونا الطلاب وينهم؟ ما ردنا الطلايب بس تجي قوة.
انا استخدمت الدب.
من اللعبة يابا من البداية وحكون حكيم جدا في اختياراتي القادمة.
حيد اللعبة اولي يابا.
ما اريد اشوف نهايات اخرى يابا.
اولي يابا.
حتعيد اللعبة ايش كملتها ولا لا؟
ختمها.
ايه.
يا ناي حصل يا حي. اذا ما اعرف لا تقول هي.
اعطيني ميوت حقول له ليها ايش صار. بس
لا لا عمي لا اعطيك ميوت هاي شيء حتى تقول لي.
اعطي ميوت الزلزال.
بس ولك انا همينه
بس الزلزال انا واحد.
اعطيته الزلزال.
حسن الطاني.
حسن اعطيته؟
اعطيته.
احكي.
يحيى هذا ذولي تحرروا حتى نسيت اسمه
لك طيب زلزلة لك ما طيب الزلزلة ميوت طيب زلزلة ميوت الحسن.
ميوت الزلزلة وحسن يلا مو مشكلة.
على اليمين طيب ما تقول لي على اليمين.
كارلوس بيفيش تحرر ويا جماعته. كونر كتب لي فشلت المهمة يعني بين قوسين شخصية صارت كأنها بلا فايدة. واخير شيء أليس ماتت.
يا ولد زلزلة ماخذ أسوأ نهاية بالعالم كلها يمكن. والله ماكل خرب القصة فجأة.
والله شو يسوي؟ هو قلت لك عايدها. ايش يسوي؟ ايش كملت. بس يعني كانت المفروض ما اخلي كارا تعيش.
عمي المفروض كلهم يعيشون.
ادري اعرف.
بشكل مبسط.
ايه
شيلوا الزلزلة شيلوا بميوت.
شيلوا ميوت ما زلزلة؟ يعني أسوأ من نهاية لا اكسبلور ما سوى نهاية ما لعب
اكسبلور نهايته والله زينة ما بيها شيء.
أسوأ من نهاية محمد؟
لا ما الزلزلة زربة أكثر.
يعني والله ما ادري. شو محمد كمل اللعبة؟
ختمها يابا.
لا عاد ليش نهايته ضايج منها؟ عادي يعني هي لعبة يعني اختيارات. ليش ضايج؟
ما بيحل
عادي. هسه عاد اللعبة ويجيب نهاية وارجع افرح. بالمي غرق.
بس سريع. خصياني.
ايه بس يقول لك باقي له قلبين بس.
Any idea where the money came from?
She didn't mention it, but she did say the booze was a present for a boy. She said they had been fighting and she had to make it up to him.
وحسن قام يدور بالمقابر.
Were you and Evelyn close, Mr. Robbins?
ويا جون مارتن. لك هي جون مارتن وآرثر غنوا الأغنية مال KSI.
I like my horsey and my horsey likes me.
Her mother was trying to get her back on the straight and narrow.
حتى هو شايفها خرب بالوقت.
She's old now. To be honest, you have to have a good reason to want to get back on.
Do you know a friend of Evelyn's by the name of McCaffrey?
Not personally.
We're struggling for leads, Robbins. Did she know McCaffrey?
She idolized him. From what I gather, the feeling was far from mutual. He seems to peddle a revolutionary stance, fixing the ills of society.
وينهم خرب الناس قد دخل المقابر.
You could see how it would appeal to down-and-outs like Evelyn.
Thanks for your help, Mr. Robbins.
No problem.
وين هذا؟
Hey.
ايوه ولك.
I'd like to make arrangements for the funeral. You think I could get in touch with Evelyn's mother?
Put in a call to the watch commander at Central Station, Mr. Robbins. He'll be trying to reach the next of kin.
Thanks.
لك شotgun هلا جيب
حسن طلع شدين.
لك شotgun بديترويت يعني شنو؟
طلع شotgun. خرب النقبت ما شفت من ورا الضباب.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
مو ضباب. الكبريت ببغداد.
ايه العفو. بخير. وينك؟
يابا وين أليس؟
ويلي
حطها بحلقة.
انقذني يحيى انقذني.
والله طاح بك بابا.
Yes papa, eating sugar no papa, telling lie no papa. Open your mouth.
شنو شبيك؟
كوا جوني يا صباح. جوني مصدق.
ما اريد
طفي التلفزيون طفي التلفزيون لا تبنى عال. مار ديترويت.
I think she was living rough. She had that kind of stunk about her.
Who did she?
لك وين أليس؟ ماكو شي بيت. بياتي.
What's your name?
Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Mind if I ask you some questions, Mr. McCaffrey?
I'm just a starving writer, Detective. What do you want to ask about?
Evelyn Summers, and why she was found beaten and strangled in the rail depot on Santa Fe.
Okay. I see your point.
How well did you know her?
I can't say that I knew her. It was more like I was aware of her.
عشرة خويا عامر شد رحمة والديك.
Mr. McCaffrey.
Nothing serious. I've had a few skirmishes.
يما.
بابا مشي ولك جو اختلوي. تعال.
How about murder? McCaffrey, you ever been involved in a murder before?
If I'm carrying the mark of Cain, you're gonna need something to prove it, Detective.
طلعت قبالك. افلت لا تعال امشي افلت.
You're ruining my drink.
لا إله إلا الله، لا إله إلا الله. ما مركز بالقصة. خرابيك حسن.
يا بشكل اسبوع الحين. بالعكس احنا لا اريد نقتلكم ولا تقتلوني، اكلوا خرا ونشبوا. ما اريد اقتلكم. اذا ينقص الشرف ما اريد اقتلكم يا ولد.
خرب شرفكم. با حسن يقول ما اريد اقتلكم، طلع دبل ريفولفر.
يا اخي مو يجبروني، يعني مجبور انا مو بروطاج.
What's your name?
Grosvenor McCaffrey.
بس خلينا
Mind if I
نطولكم.
ask you some questions, Mr. McCaffrey?
طبعا ما ينقص من الشرف. انت شنو عود كلب يعني؟ لا بس وخر.
Why she was found beaten and strangled in the rail depot on Santa Fe.
Okay. I see your point.
How well did you know her?
I can't say that I knew her. It was more like I was aware of her.
Do you have a criminal record, Mr. McCaffrey?
على السريع ولي.
Nothing serious.
ما ينفتح كاف.
I've had a few skirmishes.
You want to save me some time, or do you want me to look up your file?
Industrial disputes, strikes, workers' rights, that kind of thing.
A regular fifth columnist. Nice to meet you, Con.
كم المفروض قلت لك من البداية ابن الكلب.
You say you barely knew Evelyn?
Yes, that is correct.
You're lying, McCaffrey. You looked down your nose at Evelyn, but you knew her, and you have some idea of what happened.
I hope you're holding aces. But telling you again, I barely knew the woman.
Why would you lend her your book on metaphysics if you only knew her in passing? It was more than that. A Renaissance man like yourself lending his books to his acolytes.
She hounded me about that goddamn book, and then she lifts it from my apartment and
حسن
lies to
آخر
my
منطز
face that she didn't
هاي
take it,
جون.
as if she could even comprehend any of it. I saw her go into a hotel with Tiernan last night. They had booze in a paper bag. He's your man.
Thank you for the information, Mr. McCaffrey. You can drive.
And where exactly are we going?
ولك رادوا يكشفون على ولك. تمشي اطلع عاد.
Can you drive to this one? You know the way. You can drive.
اطلع. ولك.
11 King.
ضربوا القرايه جون.
11 King, in or out? Let's not keep the man waiting, Phelps.
ربي امك كان هسه لازمين. جيت سريع.
هلا بالاسود المنقذ المجاهد لاعب كرة السلة المحترف
حسن مورغان.
انا اسود؟
يلا مو مشكلة.
هلا هلا هلا. فول الفول.
لا